This is Boston Bruins hockey, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V, available at your local New England Honda dealers. The Bruins are brought to you by VA New England, Granite City Electric GCE Nitrate, Valvoline Instant Oil Change, Coors Banquet, your New England Ford dealers, Live Nation, Peerless Boilers, Safety Insurance, and by Shaw's and Star Market.
2 seconds, 1 second, it's over. The Bruins have won the Stanley Cup.
And by Town Fair Tire, TD Bank, your Boston area Nissan dealers, Charles D. Sheehy, Ticketmaster, Dairy Queen, Bosch Tools, Hub International New England, McGovern Auto Group, Timberline Construction, the Peterson School, your Eastern Region Lexus dealers, and by DraftKings Sportsbook.
After 39 long years, the Cup is back home. The Bruins are 2011 Stanley Cup champions.
Now, here's Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers.
From PPG Paints Arena in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, it's Boston Bruins hockey. As today, the Bruins hit the road for back-to-back afternoon games starting this Saturday afternoon. Wake up, Ryan. Early start against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Great to have you along. Alongside Bob Beers, I'm Ryan Johnston. If I could just get it out. The Bruins, meanwhile, have lost 5 in a row as we get ready for this one today. Most recently, a 2-1 loss to the Islanders on Thursday night, despite outshooting New York 39-20 in that game. The loss leaving Boston 4 points behind Detroit and Columbus for the 2 wildcard spots in the East. And now the calendar turns to March, and the Bruins will spend much of this month on the road. 10 of their next 14 games away from TD Garden. Joe Sacco's team will need to improve on a road record that is currently 6 games below 500.
I think we have to embrace the challenge on the road. Look at it for us, look at it for a way to push our game again to like another level, a higher level. That's really what it comes down to. I think it comes down to that for, us, whether it's on the road or at home right now. It's just about embracing the challenge, the opportunity that's in front of us. And sometimes you get on the road, maybe things change a little bit. You maybe can say, like the matchups, obviously I've said this before, they don't come into play as much. Maybe guys will start thinking a little bit less on the road and just going out and executing and playing. So, but we just have to embrace the opportunity and the challenge that's in front of us, whether it be on the road or even at home right now.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds good on paper. The problem is they haven't been able to do it this year. They've really struggled on the road this season, and up until lately, they were pretty solid at home. Their home record was good, and then they've sprung some leaks in that. So, they said it sounds good on paper, and you're trying to grasp at some things right now to make these guys believe, to have them believe. And I'm sure some of them still believe, and others probably are wavering a little bit, wondering what's going to happen here in the next few days with the trade deadline coming up. I think that's human nature that you're going to do that. But, starting to concentrate on the task at hand, which is trying to get back to some winning ways, trying to get back to some winning habits. They've put themselves in a position to win each of these last 5 games. Every game has been lost by 1 goal. But you're in a position to win these games, and you're not able to, whether you run into a hot goalie like they did against the Islanders, or whether they give up a lead in the third period, which they've done a couple of times now, 3 times out of the 5. They're finding different ways to lose, and I think that's the problem with them right now. And they've got to get that mindset of a little bit of a more of a sense of urgency, a little bit more of that killer instinct. And you're playing against a team here they're most likely out of a playoff spot in the Pittsburgh Penguins. I mean, they're so far down in the standings right now. They put themselves in that position, but they've actually played some decent hockey here in spurts, more so on home ice. And they've got a couple of their big guys that are going again. Like Malkin has been playing some good hockey, just had 4 points the other day against the Flyers. Erik Karlsson's been playing really well since the end of January. Had a strong Four Nations Cup and has kind of carried that in here. So, they've got a challenge because they've got good players, the Penguins do, and you've got to be ready to play, even though that they've got a lot of holes in their lineup as well.
Well, but that's been, as you mentioned, kind of the frustrating thing about this 5-game losing streak is the Bruins have had opportunities to get points, and had they, a couple of those games go the other way, they could be sitting in a playoff spot right now. Brad Marchand talked this week about the approach that the Bruins need to take to turn around this road record.
I like the way we were just hounding pucks. I think sometimes you get on the road, you sit back a little bit. But I mean, if we continue to hound pucks the way we did, play below the goal line and get pucks in that, I mean, we're going to be a good team. So, just got to keep building that.
The frustrating thing is they show it in spurts. It's there at times in games, and they can't keep it up for the 60 minutes. You're not always going to have it for 60 minutes. I get it. There's momentum swings in games. It's going to be ups and downs. You've got to be able to handle some of those momentum swings. When you get goals scored against you, you've got to be able to handle it. And too many times, it's been, the shoulder slump after a goal is scored, and, the team comes right back down and scores another one, and all of a sudden, you're in a hole again. So I think that's been the frustrating part of it. That's mental. That's mental, being able to handle it in those areas. Look, they're up against it already with some of the guys that they're missing on the back end. And with your missing McAvoy and Lindholm on the back end, everybody else slots in spots that they're not used to and probably shouldn't be spotted in, at least now in their careers. And, it has that trickle-down effect. But at the same time, the sense of urgency needs to be there. Enough's enough. We've lost 5 games in a row. I don't care if they're by 1 goal or not. It's time to put a W up on the board and start feeling a little bit better about ourselves. And, you try to reach at all the positives you can, but until you start winning, it's just lip service and it's just words. So, it's time to do it on the ice.
Well, to that end, the Bruins made some roster moves yesterday as they sent Oliver Wahlstrom, who had cleared waivers the day before, and Riley Tufte to Providence. Defenseman Michael Callahan also sent down yesterday. In their places, the Bruins recalling defenseman Ian Mitchell, forwards Georgi Merkulov and Jeffrey Viel. All 3 of them going to be in the lineup today. Anything jump out at you in those moves yesterday?
Well, Mitchell's more of an offensive defenseman. A guy that can really move the puck. They had Wotherspoon manning the second power play unit. Mitchell's going to man that instead of Wotherspoon. Makes a little bit of sense. So Lohrei gets the first unit, and then Mitchell the second unit. Callahan played okay while he was here. He's a defensive defenseman. He's got some work to do, but he was pretty good while he was here, pretty sound while he was here, and certainly planted the seed for him to be back here again next year or even later in the season if it calls for it. So. And then Merkulov's going to play power play as well. You're not going to bring this guy up and not play him on the power play. It's why are you bringing him up there? Sure. So you got to put him in that situation. Let's see if I think he's going to start the game with Patra. So at 5-on-5 situations, we'll see how that goes. Good news that Patra avoided any major injury out of that hit the other day, or collision into the bench of the New York Islanders. But if you're going to have Merkulov here, he's got to be put in offensive situations. So see if those two can form some chemistry.
Well, certainly the bright spot offensively for the Bruins has been David Pastrnak. He's riding a 16-game point streak, the longest such streak in the league this season. A point today would surpass Jaromir Jagr and Robert Lang for the longest point streak in NHL history by a Czech-born player. But Pasta says he's more concerned about 2 points for the team than about his own points.
Yeah, I will give the point streak for the wins, and I'm playing in the team sport, so I just want to get it up and get back on the winning streak, and I'm not focusing on anything else than our team game right now, and obviously trying to do my best to help the team, but that's not my focus, honestly.
Yeah, look, it's about time we started. Certainly myself started recognizing Pastrnak and what he's been doing here recently and how well he's been playing. I mean, he doesn't have the numbers that he has over the last few weeks. Where are the Bruins sitting right now? And then in this hunt, they're not even in these games. He's showing up every game. He's limited his turnovers. He's competing on the back end. Remember the save he made right after he scored the goal the other day against the Islanders?
Saved a goal.
He saved a goal. Certainly poked one away and then was laying in the crease when the second one hit him. So, he's engaged. I mean, he's all in right now, and that's good news for the Bruins, especially, as you move forward and even into next season. But it's certainly time that maybe hopefully people are starting to recognize just how good this guy has been on a team that really struggles to score goals.
Yeah, from the point standpoint, he's got 14 goals and 17 assists over this 16 game, 31 points in the last 16 games, and it's the longest streak in the league this season. Joe Sacco says it's not just the goals and assists that have stood out during this stretch.
I think that not just because of the way he's playing, I shouldn't say that, not just because of the points that he's producing and the streak that he has. I just think the way he's handling himself and carrying himself right now, he's a guy that our players look up to, and there's certainly a leadership there that he's taking that leadership role, I think, another level too, off and away from the rink, like in the room and areas of that nature. Obviously, he's leading by example on the ice, but I do like the way that, he's starting to become more of a natural leader for the group. I think it's a good sign.
Nobody wants to lose, right? But at the same time, you look at David Pasternak's career, in Boston, he's always been on a playoff team.
Right.
So this is uncharted territory for him, at least at this point of the season. Things can certainly still change, but at this point of the season, you're on the outside looking in, and it can have you grow as a leader. And I think that's what you're seeing from Pastrnak. And even though the things haven't gone well for the team, he's still coming to work every night and producing like the way that you expect him to produce.
Today's Storylines brought to you by your Boston area Chevrolet dealers. Get a closer look at Chevy's award-winning lineup at your New England Chevy dealer. Find exciting offers, too, on the powerful Silverado and feature-packed all-new Equinox. Coming up here on our Bruins pregame show, we will go around the NHL, including the Islanders and Predators getting an early start.
Long shot, rebound, they score! Kyle Palmieri cleans up the Boquist chance.
We'll hear more from Joe Sacco as he prepares for today's game.
We just need to be cognizant of the fact that we want to make sure that we're committed to our checking game today. We don't want to be trading chances up and down the ice with them.
And up next, we'll take a closer look at the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Malkin, far circle, cuts in, shoots, he scores! Evgeny Malkin ties the game up at 4.
That's all on the way here on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
TaxAct knows small business owners can sometimes use a little help with their taxes. That's why TaxAct has Expert Assist, a team of live tax experts ready to answer any questions you may have. Think of them as your own personal sidekick. Not like one of those funny talking animal sidekicks, more like the super smart nerding out on tax code and business casual attire sidekick, but just as helpful and lovable. TaxAct. Let's get them over with.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home, yes, cool, or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you've been waiting to hear Macy's winter clearance, now's the time. Get everything you've been eyeing all season long at prices that are worth the wait. How good? Think 40 to 70% off coats, sweaters, boots, and more. Plus, come in and get an extra 20% off all your clearance purchases. That's up to 75% off. So if you've been waiting to treat yourself to something cute and cozy, hurry into Macy's now, because you're not the only one ready to score amazing winter deals. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Connect with Boston's home for sports online. 98.5 thesportshub.com.
Carlson with 2 goals tonight. Here come the Penguins. 2-on-1. Malkin near circle. Slows down. Shoots it. Scores! Evgeny Malkin, the overtime hero. And the Penguins take down the in-state rival. The Flyers are down.
Back here in Pittsburgh, Bruins and Penguins coming up, and it's been a struggle for the Penguins this season. They're 4 games below 500, 9 points out of a playoff spot. And on Tuesday night, they got thumped by Philadelphia 6-1. They look to be headed back in that same direction in a rematch here on Thursday. Fell behind 3-0. Mike Sullivan pulled his starting goaltender, Alex Nedeljkovic, who made it very clear that he wasn't happy with an emotional outburst on the bench. Penguins rallied for a 5-4 overtime win, and afterward Mike Sullivan spoke about what sparked that turnaround.
I just didn't think we managed the puck very well at all. On the entries, we turned pucks over, shooting pucks off the angles, starting their breakout, going the other way. But we just didn't play the game with the right intentions, and that makes for a hard game. You end up chasing the game instead of just playing the game the right way. So for me, that was the biggest thing. That was the discussion we had with them after the first period. It's a losing proposition if you mismanage the puck and you get beat out of deep ice all night long. And I get it. We want to try to score, but I use this phrase all the time: chasing offense. there's more to this game than scoring. I think Ned had a lot to do with it. I really believe that. He's a very popular teammate, and nobody wants to be in that situation. And I thought our guys wanted to respond. You get a certain feeling behind the bench. That was a feeling I had. I thought we responded immediately after that.
Well, yeah, I mean, it wasn't the best of situations, right, for Nedeljkovic. And just for the Penguins alone, coming out of the break, coming out of the Four Nations tournament, they had played 3 previous games before winning their last one 5-4. They lost to the Capitals 8-3 in the first game out of the break. They lost to the Rangers 5-3, and they lost to the Flyers 6-1. So they were getting blown out. They can't keep the puck out of their net anyhow. It's been like that most of the season. For Nedeljkovic, he gets pulled in that game, and yeah, he pulls a little bit of a nutty. He was upset because he wasn't playing poorly. And Mike Sullivan admitted as much. Like, it wasn't because of his performance, and he didn't mind the nutty that he pulled because it actually got the team going a little bit, or one of the things that got the team going a little bit. All of a sudden, Malkin becomes a different player. He gets 4 points. Carlson's playing well, and they get the win in overtime against the Flyers, who had just beaten them 6-1, and a much-needed win for the Penguins in that one. So, yeah, sometimes you need a little bit of emotion, right? Whatever that might be. Sometimes you need that emotion, whether it's from your goaltender, whether it's from your star players, or from otherwise. Usually it has more effect when it comes from a more prominent player. And this time it was Nedeljkovic, the starting goaltender.
Well, you mentioned Malkin. It has certainly not been a season for him to remember. He's got just 12 goals in 51 games this year, but since the Four Nations break, he started to heat up. 2 goals, 2 assists on Thursday night, 7 points over the last 4 games, and Mike Sullivan said he's seen this version of Malkin many times.
Just like a team builds on momentum throughout the course of a game, I think players are the same way. In my experience of coaching Gino for the last 10 years, is he might be one in particular that can ride momentum. When he scores, when he produces offense, he becomes a confident guy. And in my experience of coaching him is when he does, he feels good about himself, he feels good about his contribution, he feels good about his game, and he can ride that momentum.
Yeah, look, from the outside looking in, we've watched Malkin play for years. We know how good he can be. We know how effective he can be. But he also gets that pout going sometimes, and he gets upset and he gets down, and you can tell when he's just not invested. And there are certain games where he's not invested. It's the truth. But when he wants to play, when he's motivated and feeling good about himself, and he's one of the more dominant players, still one of the more dominant players in the game today. It's just a matter of keeping him in the right frame of mind and, doing it for a long period of time. So, look, they've got guys, we said it already, they've got guys that can beat you. Letang, Crosby, Malkin, Rust, these guys are all, Carlson now on the back end. These guys are all dynamic offensive players who can really hurt you if you let them, and that's going to be a big challenge for the Bruins here today.
Well, coming up, while we're in Pittsburgh, we're going to take a few minutes and remember the legendary voice of the Penguins, Mike Lang, who passed away just a couple of weeks ago. We'll dip into the archives and hear a conversation with Mike coming up next as our pregame show continues on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home, yes, cool, or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
TaxAct knows filing your small business taxes can be a nightmare, like the kind where you're being chased by a giant W-2 form, and you're running and running, but you can never reach the submit button. Or something like that. So, TaxAct offers Expert Assist with live tax experts to make filing taxes less scary. Now, you can just have pleasant dreams about being chased by other giant, non-threatening paperwork. TaxAct. Let's get them over with.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger. Because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Is your relationship with your bank in a rut? Might be time for someone new. At Navigant Credit Union, we offer better rates, fewer fees, and support that puts you first. Don't put it off. Join Navigant Credit Union today. Federally insured by NCUA.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppables, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
The Celtics play here at the Sports Hub.
Back in Pittsburgh, where the Bruins will take on the Penguins coming up in just a bit. And it's hard to imagine some of the great moments in Penguins history without your mind conjuring up the voice of Mike Lang. Penguins broadcaster for 46 years. Lang died on February 19th at the age of 76. And even if you didn't necessarily know his name, if you're a hockey fan, you knew the voice and you certainly knew the colorful phrases. In 2022, our colleague Judd Surratt sat down with Mike Lang to discuss his Hall of Fame career, and in tribute to Mike's memory, we share that conversation with you now.
Yager with a shot. He shoots and scores from the right wing circle, and the Penguins take a 1-0 lead. Oh, scratch my back with a hacksaw. What a vicious wrist shot by Jaromir Jagr.
Mike, as famous as some of the sayings and the catchphrases are that you had over many, many years, you also had a very distinct goal call. Did you have that from the get-go when you started doing games in San Diego?
No, but I knew what I wanted to do. I used a couple of phrases and things in San Diego. My mentor was Al McCoy, who is still going strong as the voice of the Phoenix Suns, believe it or not. And he was Phoenix Roadrunners broadcaster when I ended up getting a chance to work in Phoenix. And I was his right arm man. He took me in. I waited a while to get the job, and he taught me so much about the game of hockey, and everybody around it did, but broadcasting in particular. And he was a guy that used a couple of phrases. One of them was "Great Balls of Fire." And when he left to go to the Suns is when I took over as the play-by-play broadcaster for the Roadrunners. And I asked him, "Did you mind if I use Great Balls of Fire as part of my goal calls?" And he said, "No problem." He said, "I'm going to the Suns. I won't be using it anymore. Help yourself." So I did.
Stop made. Rebound. Here comes the moment. He shoots and scores. And the Penguins lead 3-0. Great balls of fire.
I worked that for a couple of years and got into San Diego, used another one to add to it. And when I came to Pittsburgh, I incorporated them, and I went kind of slow. And I just said, okay, let's throw another one. And I did. And I got a reaction from people, a little bit more than I ever had before in Phoenix and San Diego. So I said, okay, well, let's do one more.
I'll buy Sam a drink and get a dog one, too. And he is smiling like a butcher's dog. Let's go hunt moose on a Harley. The Penguins have scored again.
As it grew, in those days, there was no computers. There were nothing like that. People had to hear you. And on KDKA, radio at the time was a pretty powerful vehicle to have people hear you, but they don't hear them clearly the first time. So you would have this continuous thing for the first month of people butchering what you said and not putting different words in there. And it was half the fun. And then people started sending me things. I kept them in a shoebox. And every summer I would go through and see if one was warranted under what I wanted to do to make it my favorite. And all of my ones are favorites, but I would do that. And that was something that was fun for me. And then people really took off. When the team started winning, they'd have these big parties to watch the games. At the bars, they would have bets on what phrase it was going to use first. Whoever got it got a free drink all night, or, things like that. And so it all became part of the exuberance that everybody had, and we all had a good time with it.
Get a phone and call Arnold Slick from Turtle Creek. Muriel Lemieux.
Like you mentioned, the reaction that you got, obviously, from the Penguins fans who would listen to your broadcast. But I'm curious, over the years, what sort of feedback did you get from some of the players about some of the calls that you made?
I think they enjoyed it, particularly the visiting players who would have access to video. I do know that the satellite revolutionized my career when we went to television in the early 80s and every game was on, and I was getting bombarded from outlets around the country because they'd never seen anything. They didn't hear me, and they were, all wondered, where did this come from? Well, I've never heard anybody do a game like this. And how do you? So I was getting the recognition in all these places and interviews, in San Francisco and Vancouver and the Canadian cities. And it was like, whoa, easy, guys. I'm just having fun, but they'd never heard anything like that.
Mike, you're obviously synonymous with the Penguins and the city of Pittsburgh. But in the bigger picture, how important is it for a team to have the right guy behind the mic?
That's an interesting question. I don't know. I think the people kind of decide that. Is that fair?
Mm-hmm.
They kind of decide who they really enjoy and what it takes to become a part of them. And I think every broadcaster should strive really to become part of the city that he's in, of the people. I think it's important to learn their personalities and their way of life. Places are different. I mean, here you can be a little unusual and a little different. Well, maybe in some other cities that wouldn't go. It just might not work. So it's all a matter of maybe where you are. But it's something that you can strive for to become a part of that atmosphere and learn the history of who's been successful there when they've done games.
Oh, get that dog off my lawn.
My last thing for you, Mikey, and I appreciate it. There's a handful of Pittsburgh natives in various NHL booths now. What's it like seeing a Pittsburgh guy like Bob Beers, who's been doing this for almost 30 years for the Bruins?
It's an incredible story, you say that, because I'm a little closer to Bob Beers than most other broadcasters, just from a standpoint of I knew his mom and dad, and I lived near where they would visit for breakfast, and I ran into him, and over the years, we became pretty close. And Bobby's a guy that came from Pittsburgh, still loves his roots here, but he went to Boston, and he became such a success and loved the city and loved everything about it. And the converse to that is that Phil Bourque has done the same thing coming from Boston and coming to Pittsburgh, my old broadcast partner. And then he loves it here in Pittsburgh, and this is his home. So it is kind of an amazing thing between the broadcasting for the Bruins and the Penguins, that this change up from where you live, what you do for all the years, ends up like this with Bob Beers and Phil Bourque exchanging homelands to be a part of the NHL. It's a pretty good story.
I love them both. Beersy and the old 2-9er.
Yeah.
Mikey, you're a legend. This has been a treat. Thank you.
I appreciate it. And as I've told people at the moment right now, ladies and gentlemen, Elvis has just left the building.
Flashing back to that conversation from a few years ago with the legendary Mike Lang, longtime voice of the Penguins, who passed away just about a week and a half ago. He talked about you and your relationship with him. Any thoughts you'd like to share right now?
Yeah, no, I just rest in peace, Mike. I mean, it was what a run he had. I was talking to Phil Bourque actually a little bit about Mike recently. He had been to see him just before he had passed away. And, I had moved from Pittsburgh by the time Mike started doing games, but got to know Mike for years and years and years doing this job, and he was always tremendous to me. So, and he did know my parents. They would be at the same restaurant on Sundays, and he would have all of his stuff laid out across the table, doing his homework, doing whatever work he was doing there. And my parents went to the same restaurant every Sunday and had breakfast, and so it was. We had a lot in common, Mike and I did, and it's good to see Phil Bourque as well from Chelmsford. His mother still lives in Chelmsford, and he was just telling me before the game, and he's been here and embraced the city of Pittsburgh for years.
There's a lot of different ways to do this job that I'm thankful to get the opportunity to. Mike Lang did it differently than just about anybody, but amazingly well.
He kind of revolutionized it, didn't he?
Yeah.
It's not just about his calls. It's not just about the catchphrase, calls after a goal is scored or after a win. He called a good game, and obviously the energy, the passion was all there. The work ethic was all there for him, and so you get caught up in the catchphrases, right? Yeah. But it was more than that, and it was. I don't know what year it was, but at whatever point he got moved from TV to radio, I believe is what the change that was made. and then finished his career on radio. But he had been in TV for years prior to that.
Sure, and as he said, I mean, once we kind of got to a global society and those calls started getting out more and more, I mean, I, like a lot of people, remember the first time I heard Elvis has left the building coming out of his voice, and it's like, wow, this is something really special, and the people of Pittsburgh have enjoyed it for decades. So our best to Mike Lang's family on his passing. Well, coming up next, we will go around the NHL as we get you ready for the Bruins and the Pittsburgh Penguins' second meeting of the year here on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home, yes, cool, or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
TaxAct knows small business owners can sometimes use a little help with their taxes. That's why TaxAct has Expert Assist, a team of live tax experts ready to answer any questions you may have. Think of them as your own personal sidekick. Not like one of those funny talking animal sidekicks, more like the super smart nerding out on tax code and business casual attire sidekick, but just as helpful and lovable. TaxAct. Let's get them over with.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now, and the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home, yes, cool, or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
Listen live. Check out our podcast with the 98.5 The Sports Hub app.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification across the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network.
From the Town Fair Tire Studios, this is Boston's home for sports. WBZ-FM at HD Boston, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Station.
Bruins and Penguins coming up, and it's time to go around the NHL. We're going to start with a trade in the NHL today. The Rangers and Avalanche. New York sending Ryan Lindgren and Jimmy Vesey to Colorado for defenseman Calvin DeHaan, forward Juuso Parssinen, and 2 conditional draft picks, a second and a fourth. Rangers are going to retain half of Lindgren's $4.5 million salary on that deal as well.
Well, I think the big thing about this one, first of all, Colorado going for it, right? Colorado's already made 2 massive trades, the Rantanen trade, and that's worked out pretty well for them. I know Rantanen was a great player on the Avalanche, but has struggled a little bit with Carolina. Natchez has fit in pretty well, playing alongside Nathan McKinnon there in the Avalanche, and Cal McCarr for that matter. But Lindgren and Vesey both set to become unrestricted free agents at the end of this season, so it remains to be seen whether they will be re-signed or are able to be re-signed. Lindgren is a good player that if he's healthy, is a good player. He's been paired with Adam Fox. Fox is out injured right now for the Rangers. I'm wondering if that had any impact on the trade and when to make it and why to make it. But Lindgren can be a real impactful, hard-nosed player. He's not a big guy, but he plays big, and he's a physical presence. He eats pucks. Playoff type of performer, so they're getting a good gamer there in Ryan Lindgren, and Vesey can chip in offensively, play up and down your lineup in the forward line. So pretty good trade, I think, for the Colorado Avalanche. They don't give up a whole lot unless Parssinen turns into something good.
And Vesey had kind of gotten lost, it seemed like, in New York, wasn't getting a lot of time. A couple of games about ready to wrap up. The Islanders with a 6-3 lead over Nashville late in the third.
Here's Holmstrom in, cross ice pass down on an end, Nelson scores! A short-handed goal. The Islanders recapture their 3-goal lead. It's Holmstrom to Nelson.
Yeah, that game right now, the Islanders leading the Nashville Predators by the score of 6-3. Just over 3 minutes remaining in the third period. Nelson has been the subject of some trade talks. He has 19 goals now in the season, 2 goals and a helper in this game. And just to go back to that other trade, there hadn't been any trades since the Four Nations Cup. So you expect a lot of them to start coming now with only, 6 days until the trade deadline. On Friday afternoon, the trade deadline. So I'm expecting to see quite a bit here, I think, moving forward and what we're going to see.
One other game in progress. They're into the final minute in Washington. Tampa Bay is up 3-1 over the Caps.
Ball being tracked all the way down the right side. Gets it back. There's a shot. Scores! A great shot by Gage Gonzalez. And it's 2-0 Tampa Bay.
Well, Tampa Bay looks poised to go win their 8th win in a row. Brandon Hagel's added an empty netter, his 30th of the season. That's a couple empty netters in the last couple games for him. So he's got 30, the 3-1 lead now late in that game. Alex Ovechkin, by the way, the only goal scorer for the Washington Capitals. That gives him 31 on the season.
And the chase continues. That's our look around the NHL. I'll talk with Joe Sacco coming up next on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
With Cox Mobile, you're covered coast to coast, so you can call your friends anytime on that road trip from New York City to L.A., even in, Franklin, Illinois.
Huh, what if I call from Franklin, Georgia?
Yep, covered.
Ooh, Franklin, Texas?
Uh-huh.
Franklin, Kansas, Missouri, Virginia, Nebraska,
Yeah, all
Connecticut?
covered. Cox Mobile runs on the network with more nationwide coverage than T-Mobile and has call quality you can rely on. Cox Mobile, the smart way to mobile. Cox Internet required. Comparison based on percentage of area covered by T-Mobile as compared to Cox Mobile from FCC National Broadband Map of U.S. as of 12/31/23. Learn more at cox.com/mobile.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home,
Yes, goal.
or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
The home of the Revs, the Sports Hub.
Our pregame interview with Joe Sacco is brought to you by Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. We'll help you manage life's storms. Well, coming off the loss to the Islanders the other night, you guys had 39 shots and only 1 goal. You had a chance to go back and look at it over the last couple of days. Why weren't you able to get the puck in the net a little bit more in that last game?
I thought that their goalie played well. He made some key saves at the right time for them. If we had to do anything differently, I don't think there'd be that much besides just burying the opportunities. We didn't execute a couple of the 2-on-1s that we had as clean as we would have liked, but having said that, we had more than enough opportunities to score. Sometimes you have to tip your hat to their goaltender, and like we did that game.
We all know the situation your team's in right now, trying to get every point that you can, and things haven't been going your way. Have you been happy with the level of desperation you've seen from your team here in the last few games?
I have. I thought that we've been ready to play, in the last few games, especially Toronto and the Islanders. We had great start to the game, and that says a lot about your group. They're ready to play. Just obviously we let some points get away that are imperative. But I think if we do the things that we've done in those 2 games and we build on the positive stuff there, I think that we can carry that over here and obviously try to, build on that for the next few games here.
I want to talk to you a little bit about the roster moves that were made yesterday. First of all, Ian Mitchell comes up. He'll go in the lineup today defensively. What do you hope to get out of him on the back end?
Well, Mitchie's a puck mover. He skates well, so hopefully he can help us come out of our zone clean, break some pucks out for us, make some plays, execute some plays in the neutral zone, offensive blue line as well. Gives us a right shot D-man, so it gives us 3 righties now in the lineup tonight and 3 lefties. We've had someone playing their offside, which isn't always the easiest thing to do. So just want Mitchie to play his game, skate, move the puck, and defend and be active at the right time.
With his addition, Michael Callahan goes back to Providence. What did you think of his game while he's been up?
I thought Callie did fine. I think he played 11 games or so, and I think he got a good taste of what this league is like, the NHL, and it was a good opportunity for him to see how you have to play, the level you have to play at, and I don't think he hurt his chances at all to be called up again at some point.
Up front, you guys will add Georgi Merkulov and Jeff Viel to the lineup today. First off, Merkulov, what does he bring to the table, and how are you going to utilize him today?
Well, he's an offensive player in Providence. He's putting up good numbers. We're going to use him on the left wing with Matty Poitras today, and we're hoping that they can create some offense in our third line, so to speak. We need a little more contribution from the bottom 6, so we're hoping Merck can provide that.
He's had a couple of tastes of the NHL in the past here, but not a real long look. What does he need to do, do you think, to establish himself at this level?
Well, probably produce. Obviously a lot of it depends on opportunity too. So today, he's going to get a look, like I said, with Matt. He's going to get some power play opportunity on the second unit if he gets out there. So hopefully he can produce some offense for us. I think that's the key when you're looking at a player like Mark is, can he provide some offense and still at the same time be a responsible player when he doesn't have the puck?
We saw Viel for one game earlier this year. Tough guy. He's leading the league in penalty minutes down in the AHL. What does that dimension bring to your team today?
Well, again, what you just said, like a physical presence in our lineup, energy to our group, which is a good thing to have. He's been playing very well in Providence, not just his game is in a really good place from all reports and indications. So he deserves an opportunity, and we're just looking for him to play his game, get in on the forecheck, be physical, turn some pucks over, create some zone time for us in the offensive side.
Starting today, you guys play 10 out of 14 games on the road. What's the trick to turning things around? Because the road's been a tough place for you this year.
I don't know if there's necessarily a trick. We have to embrace the challenge that's in front of us right now, and just try to use the challenge to raise our game to another level, to a higher level. We understand that a lot of the games are on the road, all good opponents, all those things factor in. But for us, it's just about executing our game plan and trying to play at a higher level more consistently.
All right, you guys take on the Pittsburgh Penguins this afternoon. What do you need to be looking for today?
They're a very good offensive team. Their numbers don't lie offensively. They still have elite players that can make you pay if you make mistakes with the puck. So we just need to be cognizant of the fact that we want to make sure that we're committed to our checking game today. We don't want to be trading chances up and down the ice with them. We feel if we hold on to pucks in the offensive zone, make them defend, we should be able to generate some more zone time for us. And that takes them off the attack a little bit more that way, too, when we're holding on to pucks in the offensive zone.
Joe, appreciate the time. Good luck this afternoon.
Okay, thanks.
Joe Sacco joining us. Bruins and the Penguins are coming up next. The Bruins were hoping to close out their homestand Thursday on a high note, and despite outplaying the Islanders for most of the game, they found themselves in the loss column for the 5th game in a row. 10 seconds to go. Lohrei with a shot. Hit a body in front. Knocked away from Pasternak. Lohrei reaching for it at the blue line. Kept it in. Geeky's one-timer. His stick snapped in half. Pasternak back of the net. Trying to bank it in off of Sorokin. And the siren will sound. And the Islanders will celebrate a 2-1 victory as they hang on. This afternoon, they open up a weekend road trip against a Pittsburgh team looking to climb back into the playoff race after an emotional win on Thursday. It's the Bruins and the Penguins coming up next.
Boston Bruins hockey is driven by the stylish Honda Accord, available at your local New England Honda dealers.
Cross to Esposito, shot.
Nathan Horton wins Game 7 in overtime. David Pasternak wins the series for the Bruins.
The rebound to Trent Frederick, and the
the Bruins are back in front by 2.
The Bruins are brought to you by VA New England, Granite City Electric GCE Nitrate, Valvoline Instant Oil Change, Coors Banquet, Bosch Tools, your New England Ford dealers, Live Nation, Safety Insurance, Peerless Boilers, and by Shaw's and Star Market.
Backhand, it'll save Thomas.
Swayman made a great stop at the far post.
And by Town Fair Tire, TD Bank, your Boston area Nissan dealers, Charles D. Sheehy, Ticketmaster, Dairy Queen, McGovern Auto Group, Hub International New England, Timberline Construction, the Peterson School, your Eastern Region Lexus dealers, and by DraftKings Sportsbook.
Back to Orr. Put in. His 100th backhand score on a penalty shot for Raymond Bourne.
David Pasternak calls game, and the Bruins win it 2-1.
Bergeron, and the Bruins win the series.
Now, here's Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers.
Bruins and Penguins getting ready to meet for the second time this season. Bruins looking to snap a 5-game losing streak. How did they attack Pittsburgh today?
I'll echo the same thing that Joe Sacco just said, and it's, I mentioned a few of the guys that they've got up front or in their lineup, the Penguins do. You should have added Raquel to that as well with 25 goals this season. So, they've got some guys that can hurt you offensively. Certainly defensively, they've had a really rough go of it this whole season. And Delkovich got pulled last game. He's going to get the start here today. So right back in there for him. He's a capable goaltender. Certainly not top-tier goaltender, but a very capable goaltender. And it's up to the Bruins to find a way. They can't get stopped again by another hot goaltender, right?
Keys to the game brought to you by Town Fair Tire. For the guaranteed lowest prices on tires, go to Town Fair Tire, because nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Opening face-off coming up next on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home,
Yes, goal.
or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When we started writing our thoughts down on paper, it opened up endless possibilities. Ideas could grow beyond the borders of the mind, and it changed the world. Somewhere along the way, we lost touch with paper, distracted by devices made for every purpose except for thinking and focus. On edge, waiting for the next notification. But what if new technology didn't pull us away from paper, but brought us closer to it? Listen. That's not paper. It's the sound of the new Remarkable Paper Pro, rewriting the future. A paper tablet with a true color ink display, gentle reading light, and unheard of tactility. With digital features for taking notes, thinking, and organizing, without any distractions. Paper is about to change the world again. Get your paper tablet at remarkable.com today.
Through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Opening face-off between the Bruins and the Penguins coming up. We'll take a look at our starting lineups here this afternoon. In goal for the Penguins, Alex Nedeljkovic. On defense, the pairing of P.O. Joseph and Chris Letang. And up front, it's Raquel, Sidney Crosby, and Brian Rust. For the Bruins, Jonas Korpisalo gets the start in goal. Nikita Zadorov and Brandon Carlo, your defensemen. And up front, it's Brad Marchand, Elias Lindholm, and Charlie Coyle. Starting lineups are brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code SportsHub. That's code SportsHub for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
And the first 5 minutes of today's game presented by your New England Ford dealers. Today's New England Ford dealers' first 5 contestant of the game is Adina Sweat of West Boylston, Mass. If the Bruins score in the first 5 minutes, Adina wins a pair of tickets to a future Bruins game courtesy of the New England Ford dealers. Enter the contest at 985thesportshub.com. Bruins in the road white helmets and sweaters. Penguins in black from head to toe with yellow numbers and white trim. As we await the opening faceoff, Boston will be going from right to left here in this first period. And they stand in for the opening draw. Lindholm wins it from Crosby. And the puck sent into the Pittsburgh zone and actually right into the Pittsburgh bench and out of play. So we'll have to face it off again.
Interesting to see how this game kind of unfolds, right? You get the afternoon tilt. Both teams need wins. Their playoff hopes are fading. The Penguins certainly where they sit in the standings. The Bruins have lost the 5 games in a row. Can the Penguins build off the game that they just, the comeback win against the Flyers the other day on Malkin's big day?
And the emotion that came out in that game, as we talked about Nedeljkovic throwing, you said, a little bit of a nutty on the bench after he got pulled from the game. But it ignited a comeback victory. As the puck deep in the Boston zone now, centered by Crosby, picked off by Zadorov in front, thrown back toward the net by Letang, goes high and wide of Korpisalo.
Crosby might have got a piece of that.
We come around the near side with Letang pinching down the wall. Marchand beat him to the puck. Zadorov will deal it across ice and knocked ahead by a diving Charlie Coyle as the Bruins will go for the early change. Penguins will come back the other way. P.O. Joseph worked it up toward the Boston zone. Swiveled into the middle by Beauvillier, but nobody there. Backhanded out of the zone by Pasternak. Malkin back in his own end with a pass that's redirected off the stick of Geekie. Comes to the near side and thrown back across the ice by Carlson. It's going to ricochet down behind Korpisalo, and that'll be an icing against Pittsburgh.
You know, it used to be a time with the Penguins, Ryan, where you talked about how good they were through the neutral zone. You talked about how making them come 200 feet was the key to stopping them, having to come through layers up the ice. Not get that head of steam. Don't want to fuel their transition game by turning pucks over in the wrong spots. And that's still true, but to a much lesser degree than it has been over the last, when they were in their heyday.
Puck volleyed into the air, gloved down by Malkin just outside the Pittsburgh blue line. Now regained by Boston back in their own zone. Pasternak tried to angle it behind the net. It hit the outside of the net. Bruins able to get it moving from there. Zaka gets one ahead to Pasternak, moving in behind the defense, and he scored 32 into the first period, and Pasta's done it again. Bruins have a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, I mean, this is just, it's almost too easy. Pasternak, he tried to go D to D, he's back behind the goal line. He tried to bank that puck off the boards to get it over to the defenseman. It ends up going off the net. He gets it back. Now he starts the breakout himself. Makes a perfect move on the play, but, I mean, Pittsburgh, they pinch up in the neutral zone, and he's just off to the races. Carlson, he's the right defenseman. He doesn't read it all that well. I think it was Grizzly who stepped up there in the neutral zone, and all of a sudden now Pasternak's wide open, gets the perfect pass from Geekie, and he just walks in, and he undresses Nedeljkovic with this move. Forehand, backhand, back to the forehand, and just slides it into an empty net.
32nd goal of the year for David Pasternak, who now has points in 17 straight. That is point number 801 for his career. Bruins have not scored a goal since back in the Vegas game with David Pasternak not on the ice. He has been involved in almost all of them scoring-wise, but he's at least been on the ice for every single one of them here in the past now 4 games. As the puck Comes bouncing toward the net.
Be
in
careful
the
of
Boston
that.
zone.
Right? This is that line that they just put together with Merkulov, Patra, and Viel. That puck was flipped high in the air, and it ended up being a 3-on-2 for the Penguins. Beat everybody.
On the end boards is knocked away from Kevin Hayes around the near side. Desharnais going to play it back down along the end boards. Hayes backhanded it off the outside of the net. They will work it back to the point and on to Desharnais again. Shot it into the corner, wrapped into the far side. Racing for it over there and able to clear it. Koepke in the neutral ice will bat it forward. And it goes in on Nedeljkovic, who hams it off. Ryan Shea will move the Penguins up ice.
Yeah, that was actually Koepke playing there with Patra.
Ricocheting into the far corner of the Bruins zone. In pursuit was Kastelik. It trickles in on goal as Mazat was pursuing that through the slot. Covered up. Face-off will stay in the Boston zone.
Now, so Viel with Kastelik, they're going to go off the ice here on a line change. And Beecher, at least to start.
They'll bring out Elias Lindholm to take this defensive zone face-off against former Bruin Noel Achari. Off the draw. Puck comes toward the slot. A backhand by Bemstrom. Turned aside. Here's a drive by Letang and traffic in front. Off the near circle. Achari's got it. He'll wheel it back toward the corner. Taken away by Zadorov. Got it to Marchand. Bounced away from him. And now a scramble for it. Letang throws another one to the net. Tipped on goal by Achari. Save made by Korpisalo. Bruins will clear it up ice. Marchand chasing along with Letang. Puck comes volleying back through the neutral zone. Settled by Lorei. Marchand now turns with it near his own blue line and pivots back a little bit deeper. Then Sidney Crosby. Two of them teammates in the Four Nations tournament just a couple of weeks ago. Penguins going to be whistled for an offside here. Crosby, if you saw any of the clips from Team Canada locker room, seemed to be getting a kick out of Brad Marchand and his outspoken personality in the room.
Well, they're friends from training in the summer along with Nate McKinnon.
Puck brought back into the Boston zone here by Raquel, who'll play it down deep. Lorei handed it off along the near side circle. Zacha gets it from Geekie. Tried to pass it back across the ice. It hit Geekie on the way through. But the Bruins do get it deep. Now Carlson out of the near corner for the Penguins. Crosby with a pass through to his own blue line. Carried ahead and on into the Boston zone.
Good hustle by Geekie there to get back to negate that 3-on-2.
Rusto on the near side boards, digging for it. Spun back in behind the net to Crosby. Gave it up along the far side, and the return pass was picked off. Pasternak will play it up through the neutral zone. Geekie couldn't corral a bouncing puck. Penguins have it with Grzelcyk. Gave it to Carlson. Now Malkin with a long pass and out of the reach of the outstretched Cody Glass. Going to be another icing here against Pittsburgh. Bruins up by 1, 15:49 left here in the first period.
Now the Penguins have iced the puck 3 times. And we're just over 4 minutes into this game.
Pasternak's goal assisted by Zacha and Peak at 1:32. The difference in this one in the early going.
Oh, Zacha, I had given credit to Geekie. It was actually Zacha who made the pass.
Beecher will take the face-off against Malkin. Penguins win it. Wrapped around the far side by Grzelcyk. And poked out of the zone. Lorei will play back into the neutral ice. Viel backhands in. And Kastelik into the near corner along with Beecher for the Bruins. Viel, one of a trio of players called up from Providence yesterday. Making his second appearance in the NHL this season.
He had an eventful first appearance.
He certainly did. Puck got dumped in around the far side. Beauvillier will take it to the far side. Viel with 7 penalty minutes in his 1 NHL game this year. He is the AHL's leader in that category this season with 130 in 51 games down in Providence. He's also got 26 points along.
He's got to bring energy to this line that he's on.
Puck's locked up in the Bruin zone. Nobody could get it moving. Crowd started to get angry, and there's a penalty coming against Pittsburgh to boot as the puck gets touched up by Tomasino to bring the whistle.
Yeah, Malkin not happy as he's going to the box right now. Well, he's not quite going to the box just yet.
wanted a quick say with the official before he ducks in there.
The official just points to the box. Says, I don't want to hear it. Get in the box.
hooking the call against Malkin. Will give the Bruins an early power play chance and a chance to build on this lead.
Well, I can see why he's upset, because his stick is in there, but Lori actually grabs it with his hand. And I can see why he's upset on this one.
So the Boston power play will go to work here. Up 1, 5:09 gone in this first period. Bruins power play went 0 for 3 in the only other meeting this year between these two teams, which was back in November. A 2-1 victory for Pittsburgh on Black Friday. Face-off win here, and they will go to work. Lori to Pasternak, down into the right wing corner for Marchand. Got it back to Pasternak, a one-timer, kicked away. Here's a drive by Lori. That one knocked away as well. Nedeljkovic, a couple of big saves. Now gets one off of Lindholm from the slot. Bruins will get it reset here with Lori walking it along the blue line. Takes the shot through traffic. That one goes up over the net. Shot around the far boards by Joseph, but kept in by Pasternak. Pasternak walks it down the right wing board. Into the circle. Centering pass for Marchand. And it was redirected just wide. Geekie back to Lori for a drive, and that one tipped on its way through. Ended up wide.
It was tipped by Lindholm.
Joseph took out Marchand in the corner. That's going to bring a whistle as the Bruins captain is down. And Lindholm and Geekie coming to Marchand's defense. Marchand, from our vantage point, not visible. He's down in the near corner.
That puck came free over in that left wing side after the Bruins had a couple of chances, and Joseph, as he closed in on him and finishes his hit, does he hit him from behind? And wow, it sure looked like very close to hitting Marchand from behind, and he's still down right now. The referees have to get together and take a look at this. From our vantage point, it looked like he hit him on the numbers into the boards.
Yeah.
Even if he was trying to hit him from the side, I need a replay before I can give a better analysis of it, but it looked like when I saw it, it was from behind. Guy in a vulnerable position, facing the boards.
Marchand is still down and prone on the ice as he's being looked at.
The referees aren't even talking about this, though. They're not getting together and talking about it.
And our first look at a replay here, and I mean,
that's from behind to me. It's kind of, he tries to get him from the side, but it's on the numbers.
Yeah, I mean, if Marchand's going directly into the corner in pursuit of the puck, he's just not. You just can't hit him in that situation.
Well, I vowed to stay off referees today. They botched the first call on Malkin.
Right.
And to me, this looks like at minimum a 2-minute minor.
Marchand is up on his knees right now.
At least, and possibly a major, and they review it.
Right. Well, we saw that.
Why don't they do that?
We saw that the other night.
Why are they not looking at this for a major? They can take it right off the board. Why don't they look for a major and then review it to take a look at it?
Marchand is up, being helped back to the bench by the trainer and David Pasternak.
It's a dangerous play, regardless. He didn't turn at the last second. He's going to the corner to get the puck. He's got his back to P.O. Joseph.
Marchand just now getting back over to the bench with help.
How do you not, as a referee, review it to make sure?
That's why they give you that option, to be able to review it and see. I
mean, Joe Sacco's got the referee over there right now, asking the same thing. Well, why is this nothing? And you're not even looking at it.
Marchand being helped up the tunnel into the locker room. There will be no penalty on the play.
That's wrong.
It's
wrong that they don't look at it.
Yeah.
And if they decide after that there's no penalty, then, I guess I can live with that, because I see what he's trying to do.
Well, listen, I mean, we saw it in the Islander game the other night, right, where The officials weren't sure what happened. They called the major penalty. Yeah. They went and looked at it. They decided it was a minor instead.
Yeah.
As you said, they could have wiped it off the board entirely if they want to, but they don't even look at it. So the Bruins, minus their captain for the time being. They have 1:08 to go on the power play, and they'll retrieve the puck from their own zone here. As Boston moving from right to left. Lohrei gives it to Pasternak onto the left side here for Geekie. Center blue line for Lohrei. Moves it a little bit to his right. Now passes back to the left side. Pasternak works his way out toward the blue line. Pasternak along this left wing side. Throws one to the net, trying to get it back door to Geekie. Just couldn't redirect that one on goal. Lohrei to Geekie to Pasternak. One touch pass down low to Zacha. Back across to Lohrei. Left circle scores. Mason Lohrei rings it off the pipe and in. And the Bruins with a power play goal make it 2-0.
Nedeljkovic should have had a number of really good saves earlier on in this power play where the Bruins have had good pressure on the Penguins, but this one is just ripped here by Lohrei. It's good puck moving again by the Bruins, and it's going to be Zacha who throws it back through the seam to the left to point. It's basically the top of the left wing circle, and Lohrei just steps into this one inside the top of the left wing circle. He's got Achari going down on one knee to try to block it, and he's going to blow it right by Nedeljkovic on the glove hand side.
So that'll be the 4th of the year for Mason Lohrei. 2 assists already for Pavel Zacha, and the Bruins have a 2-goal lead just over 6.5 minutes into this first period.
Malkin comes out of the box, and he's barking at the referee. Just like the Bruins were just barking at the referees.
Yeah. So face-off win here by Charlie Coyle.
Still the power play.
They should be, yeah. The dump in by Zadorov. It'll go around the far side. Grzelcyk will wrap it around behind the net. Coyle a takeaway centered one, but taken away in turn, and the Penguins will work their way ahead. And Raquel being pressured from behind by Merkulov, and the Penguins wind up offside. We'll step aside here with 13:11 to go in this first period. It's the Bruins 2, Penguins nothing on the 98.5, the Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home,
Yes, goal.
or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Come in. Joe, I wasn't expecting to see you.
Why does everybody say that? I came to congratulate you. No joke.
Well, it was a hard-fought campaign.
Campaign? I'm talking about Dime Down at Route 6.
Ah, yes. Route 6 Auto Mall Kia in Swansea, where it's a crime to pay more than a dime.
Every vehicle, one dime down. I'm being serious right now.
Get a new car and put your tax refund in the bank. Thanks to Route 6 Auto Mall Kia.
Guess what? And by the way, 0% financing and a lifetime warranty, no charge.
Well, we love those new Kia Tellurides, Sportages, and Sorrentos.
But what about financing? Come on, man.
All you need is a job and a dime. Every vehicle, one dime down.
Here's the deal. Go to Route 6 Auto Mall Kia.
In beautiful, beautiful Swansea.
Route6automall.com, Jack.
Route6automall.com.
For details, call 888-420-3306.
The only place to hear the game, the Sports Hub.
Got another winner in our New England Ford First Five contest. Adina Sweat of West Boylston, Mass. has just won a pair of tickets to a future Bruins game, courtesy of the New England Ford dealers.
Well, I'll tell you what, during that entire commercial timeout, both referees catching an earful. Malkin had the audience of one referee pleading his case, and he had a case, and Joe Sacco had the audience of the other referee, and was not satisfied with the explanation.
Garrett Rank and Tom Shimoleski, the referees today. Matt McPherson and Justin Johnson calling the lines. So 13-11 to go in this first period. Bruins have a 2-0 lead. Pasternak and Lori both on the board already as puck goes out of play here. So we'll see another face-off.
Well, you talk about it. Penguins were down 3-0 the other day against the Philadelphia Flyers. They're down 2-0 right now. We're not even 7 minutes into this game. They've iced the puck 3 times. They can't get the puck out of their zone on a they had full possession. I think it was Joseph who actually had full possession, didn't get it out. They keep it in, and that leads to the injury to Marchand. But
here's Beauvillier on the right wing circle, centering pass, and Glass trying to get off a one-timer.
Capable of scoring, though.
Here's Malkin moving through the high slots. Zadorov knocked the puck away from him.
Layers, right? He got by one guy, and there's another guy right in his face.
Malkin going to gather it back into the Boston zone. Goes right side. Glass has to chase it along the near wall. Got tangled up against Koepke and went down. Along the near side circle. They work it back to the point. Carlson's one-timer hit a leg, went wide. Zadorov will spin it up the near boards. Kept in by Carlson. Second effort cleared by Koepke. A rolling, fluttering puck down in on Nedeljkovic, so he'll hand it off. And Matt Grizzly will play it off the near boards. Crosby will backhand one into the near corner, wrapping around the glass. Cleared far side past Joseph, and will go all the way down ice. That'll be an icing here against Boston with 12:08 to go in the first period.
Pasternak, secondary assist on that, gives him a goal and an assist so far this afternoon. And you mentioned Zacha with a couple of helpers. Here comes Viel giving Joseph a couple of just love taps. Joseph just kind of skating away from him.
Theo Joseph started the year in St. Louis
with his brother.
With it playing alongside his brother. Got traded here for future considerations back in December.
He had already been here.
Yeah, he spent most of his career here, 4 years, and then signed with St. Louis. And now we got to dust up here after a whistle, and everyone's going to get involved in this one.
Kaslik could have finished Joseph had he wanted to there. That was an early icing call, by the way. And Kaslik let up and ended up going into the boards instead. And Viel getting into it. I thought he got in with Crosby initially, and then it was Rust, but it all starts with a hit that's not called.
Right.
So you're not going to call it, we're going to police it.
Well, that's what ends up happening in situations like that, is when the officials don't get involved, the players have to take it upon themselves. And we're going to see at least one penalty coming out of this.
It'll be matching, though. Yeah.
Crosby going into the box for Pittsburgh.
Probably Viel.
Boston penalty number 47, 2 minutes, unsportsmanlike conduct.
Boston
penalty number 48, 2 minutes, roughing. Pittsburgh penalty number 87, 2 minutes, slashing. Pittsburgh will have a 2-minute power play.
They are really missing something here. Kaslik could have finished him and finished him hard. He didn't. He veered off and didn't touch him. Then he gets face washed. They're going to call for unsportsmanlike conduct?
For missing a check?
For on purpose missing the check.
So Kaslik and Viel go off, Crosby goes off, and it's a 2-minute power play for Pittsburgh.
Get it together today. Holy cow.
So the Penguins will get their first power play of the game. They're 8th in the league on the man advantage this year, 24%. So they win the faceoff here with Kevin Hayes. Carlson backhanded one far side. Zadorov picks off a pass and able to clear it. Bouncing puck back into Pittsburgh's territory. Carlson will circle back behind his own net. Carries out toward his own blue line. Now leaves it right there. Raquel will steer it ahead. And the Penguins gain the line. Hayes, back of the net, finds Malkin. Skating it toward the right wing circle. Back up top for Carlson. Onto the left side for Hayes. Carlson, center of the blue line with a shot. Redirected on goal. Nice stop by Korpisalo. Covers up.
You got to track that. That's a tip and a wrist shot from the point. Carlson's excellent at getting those pucks through from the point. And this one finds its way through. And I think was it Rust that tipped that down low? It was either Rust or Raquel right off the side of the net. It's a good tip and a good save. It was Rust. It was a nice save by Korpisalo.
He's faced 4 shots through the first 8.5 minutes.
A couple of tips.
Yeah. Minute 27 to go on the Penguins power play. Face off down to our right. Won by Beecher, steered in behind the Bruins net, and Coyle will send it the length of the ice. Carlson is back to retrieve for Pittsburgh. He'll skate it up to the red line, try to pass it to the left side, overshot Hayes. Pete steers it in behind the Bruins net. Wotherspoon will get it up the near wall. Kept in briefly by Raquel, but then sent out of there, and we got a penalty coming up here against the Bruins in the neutral zone as Malkin went down.
Well, Malkin has a great read. He's back playing D, and he reads this pass perfectly. He steps up and he gets to it. And then there's a little collision there between Coyle and Malkin goes down, and they'll call the trip.
So a two-man advantage for just over a minute now coming for the Penguins.
Every guy going to the box is just shaking their head right now. Coyle, did he stick out the left leg? It's Malkin went over the left foot or left leg there of Coyle.
A 5-on-3 advantage for Pittsburgh. And they're down by 2 with about 9 minutes gone in this first period. Face off in the Boston zone. Won by the Penguins. Malkin sets up at the top of the right circle. Deals into the corner for Hayes. Hayes gives it right back to Malkin as they play catch. Along the face-off dot, Hayes back up top for Malkin. Shot redirected in front. Rust was on the doorstep. Here's Hayes moving through the high slot. Back to the right side for Malkin. Up top, Carlson shoots one through the slot, but picked off there by Carlo, and all the way down it goes. 33 to go on the two-man advantage for the Penguins. Minute and a half to go on the power play overall. Raquel skates it back in across the line. Malkin throws one in front. Raquel denied by Carlo. Puck jumps over the glass, out of play.
Carlo just got a stick on that before it got to Raquel down low. Important clear that Lindholm was able to make there after the Bruins got to a puck.
24 seconds left on the two-man advantage.
Little skate repair being done by Bruins equipment man Keith Robinson.
Zadorov skating back onto the ice after that quick skate check. Face-off controlled by the Penguins. Malkin sets it up out at the blue line. They work it down low, and a pass in front as Rust was crashing the doorstep. That one knocked into the corner. Malkin moving high slot. Goes back to the far side. A one-timer by Raquel turned aside. Here's Malkin, top of the right circle, down low. Hayes trying to get it in front. Rust banging away in front. And a chance for Raquel as well as it floats back toward the near side. Malkin, cross-ice pass, knocked out of play off of Carlo's stick.
Bruins get the benefit with Crosby having to sit in the box here during this 5-on-3. The Bruins get one man back, so have 55 seconds to kill in the Charlie Coyle penalty. And Crosby will go here now go to work on the power play.
Yeah, so he comes out of the box. VL comes out as well. Kastelik was the other guy in there for the Bruins, and he's out. So Coyle, the lone man, left with 55 seconds, as you said, left on his penalty. Bruins up 2, just past the midway point of the first period. Crosby in the right circle. Paper Tomasino chopping away at it. Wotherspoon able to free it up and send all the way down ice here.
Delkovich thought that was going to be an icing.
Forgot they were on the power play. Crosby will start it up from his own zone, skating through the neutral ice. Flips it off to the left side. They'll bring it back for Letang. A drive and a stick save made by Korpisalo. The Bruins clear the rebound. Grzelcyk will circle back inside his own zone. From the red line, hands off to Letang. Letang drives it into the left wing corner. Around the near side it comes. Zadorov reversed it back down low to Carlo. Back to Zadorov, and he is able to clear it up the near boards. Final 5 seconds of the Coyle penalty. So the Bruins kill off the two-man advantage. Still have a 2-0 lead. 9 minutes to go here in the first. Pasternak steals one of the Boston line. Works his way up the far right wing side. Cleared away from him, but Coyle kept it alive. Now Pasternak wheeling near the top of the face-off circle. Tried to throw it in front. Blocked back toward the far wall. And the Penguins will come away with it.
Yeah, with all these penalties to start this game, there's a lot of guys who have been sitting on the bench for quite a while here trying to get their feet into this game.
Puck sent back into the Boston zone by Shea. Lorai reversed it toward the near corner. Pasternak will go in behind his net and get things set up.
Yeah, Mitchell being one of them. He's out on the ice now on the right side.
Ian Mitchell, one of those 3 call-ups. One with VL and Georgi Merkulov yesterday, all coming up from Providence. Puck around the far corner. Patra got it behind the net to Geekie. Geekie will carry it toward the far corner. Try to pivot away from Joseph. Puck off the outside of the net.
That was close to offside. We'll never know here, though.
Achari going to send it back toward the Boston zone, and good job by Wotherspoon. Keep it away from Sidney Crosby. Patra will bring back into the Pittsburgh end. Near the top of the left circle, he stops. Back to Wotherspoon, fakes the shot, sends over to the far side. Pika shot. Nedeljkovic getting shoved back toward the crease by Geekie. Puck comes behind the net, just out of Geekie's reach, and it'll be cleared up the middle by Carlson, but turned over to the neutral ice. Patra coming back into the zone, backing up. Couldn't handle that puck. Carlson will set things down. Both teams getting some changes up ice. Carlson's pass finds Glass, cutting in across the Boston line. Right circle shot, smothered by Korpisalo, no rebound. We've got 7:18 left here in the first period in Pittsburgh. Bruins 2 and the Penguins nothing on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club, politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize, and turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home, yes, cool, or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
Felger and Maz, afternoons 2 to 6 on the Sports Hub.
Bruins have a 2-0 lead, 7:18 to go here in the first period. David Pasternak's 32nd of the season, set up by Pavel Zacha and Andrew Peak at 1:32. It's our delivery of the game, delivered by Granite City Electric's GCE Night Train. Electrical contractors, get on board the GCE Night Train. Order your materials to be delivered overnight to the job site the following morning and save time and money. Go to GCEnighttrain.com to order. That was followed up by a power play goal by Mason Lorai, his 4th of the year from Zacha and Pasternak.
Yeah, the conversations continue during the commercial timeout. So that's not, this time it was Crosby, and a couple of the Bruins came over to hear what he had to say. And
not been a stellar first 12, almost 13 minutes for the officiating crew in the eyes of both teams. Carlo steers it around the far side. Kastelik trying to get it cleared. Instead, the puck jumped up into the air. Zadorov will rim it around the near side boards and helped out of the zone by Beecher. Foot race up ice. Joseph will get to it first in the Penguins zone.
There's the hit.
And
that's the hit that Kastelik was looking for.
Joseph still down.
He ran him right over.
And
Joseph had one forechecker on him. He avoids that first forechecker, but when he turns back up the boards, Kastelik is the second forechecker, and they took a number.
P.O. Joseph knocked Brad Marchand out with a check from behind earlier in the period. Now Joseph headed up the tunnel into the Penguins locker room.
You know, you make that questionable hit. If you don't answer for it, and they're not going to police it, the referees, then you take a number. And Kastelik waited his turn. He could have ran him illegally on that icing call, and he didn't.
Got called for a penalty anyway.
Yeah. But he has a good, solid hit here as that second forechecker. Joseph didn't have his head up in time to see him coming.
Face-off win here by the Bruins. Puck angled off the far boards and tipped off of Geekie and goes out of play over the glass far side.
As Between the Pipes is sponsored by Charles D. Sheehy. If you're in the piping trade, you need to call Charles D. Sheehy, Boston's premier piping and mechanical product supplier. CDS is your local leader. Between the Pipes here for the Pittsburgh Penguins today is Alex Nedeljkovic, and for the Bruins, Jonas Korpisalo.
Korpisalo's first appearance in almost a month. Last played on February the 5th Lost to the Rangers. Jeremy Swayman had started 18 of the last 23 coming into this one. Is expected to get the start tomorrow in Minnesota, as Crosby couldn't catch up to a puck near the Boston blue line. That's going to be an icing again against the Penguins. Delkovich, we talked about him a little bit earlier today, making his 30th start of the year. 12-11-5, 3.22 goals against, and an .891 save percentage. Faceoff will be to his left. Crosby gets a warning. Now Geekie beats him on the draw. Puck comes through Pasternak onto Lohrei. Works his way down toward the left circle. Try to give it back to Pasternak. Had it knocked away. And a race up ice. Raquel diving after that puck against Peak. And the puck careens up and over the glass.
Yeah, Peak's got to come a long way there because he's the right defenseman. They're going to come across the ice, and it's a race for that puck. And Raquel's got a man in the middle if he can get to it first. That's why he's diving in that situation. And they got to it about the same time. The puck goes into the crowd.
Officials get together and decide the faceoff is going to be inside the Boston zone.
They were going to allow the Bruins to make a change once they decided that, because the faceoff inside the zone. Joe Sacco wants, is that Beecher coming out to take the draw?
Yep. Patro will head off and Beecher comes on. Face-off win by the Penguins as it comes off the near boards. Desharnais threw one through toward the slot. Instead, angled back toward the point man Shea on the far side. Now the puck goes up and over the glass again, out of play.
Set a record for the length of time for a period.
I don't know. We've had some long ones so far this year.
Yeah. And the game gets into icings and everything else. We only had 5 this first period.
You keeping your tally?
I do.
I'm
keeping tab, because the Penguins have had 4 already.
Face off in the Boston zone. Penguins win it. Drive by Shea gets blocked and forced out of the zone.
As Merkulov getting down on one knee to block that shot.
Puck directed into the Boston zone. Nope, into the bench as Dan Heinen tried to get it in. So we'll step aside here with 5:57 to go in this first period. Bruins have the only 2 goals so far on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home,
yes, cool,
or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Sometimes it feels like the world is moving at hyperspeed and you can't keep up because it's one thing then another, and don't forget the meeting and the yoga class and the dinner reservation, but then you get into the all-new Nissan Murano and you feel the breeze from the panoramic moonroof while the massaging seats melt away the tension of the day. And you realize that sometimes the greatest rush is not rushing at all. Shop the all-new Murano at nissanusa.com. Panoramic moonroof massaging leather appointed seats are available features.
The home of the Bees, the Sports Hub.
5:57 left in this first period. Bruins have a 2-0 lead over the Penguins. They have changed the goal scoring, or the scoring on the assist on the David Pasternak goal at 132. It's now Zacha and Geekie who get the assist. Yeah. They had originally credited that secondary assist to Peak.
So I did have it right.
You got it. You should know better.
It made me doubt my original.
Pasternak with a goal and an assist here in the first period.
Did you go to Permane Brothers?
I did not make it there. I will pay a visit when we're back here in April.
Your stomach will thank you.
Puck into the air, glove down by Coyle. He'll send it into the middle. Carried up through the neutral ice here by Merkulov and in across the Pittsburgh line. Turned over just there and brought back the other way by Hayes. Brings in across the Boston line with a shot blocker saved by Korpisalo. Hayes chases his own rebound into the far corner. Around the near boards, Letang off the near wall. Poked at and gets through Heinen at the blue line. Steered ahead now by Wotherspoon. He's got Coyle stepping in across the Boston line. Hands off along that right side. Merkulov throws a shot in on goal. Save made. It's Lindholm throwing the one from the high slot in on Nedeljkovic, who made the pad stop there as well. Hayes tried to clear it. Didn't get much on it. Merkulov will drop it back in the neutral zone, and now a pass picked off the neutral ice. Here's Letang down the right wing side. Shot it up and over. Korpisalo off the back glass.
Good read by Letang, and just a poor turnover there by the Bruins in the neutral zone as they were trying to make a change.
Loaded back deep here for Kastelik, going in deep. VL as well takes a hit. Puck kicked toward the near corner. And it's Beecher off the near wall. Throws one in front. It tipped on goal, I think, off VL in front. And Nedeljkovic made the save. Malkin will get it back down into Boston territory. Korpisalo backhanded it along to Carlo. Poked off the far boards and knocked out of the zone by Kastelik. And now Beecher on the forecheck, blocked a pass deeper into the Penguin zone. Outlet comes to Beauvillier up the right side. He'll get it all the way in behind the Boston net. Carlo tried to cut it off in that far corner. They battle for it. Geeky involved there as well for the Bruins. Batted back toward the end boards, and Zadorov's got some space as he goes behind the net. He's going to carry it out toward his own blue line. Now pivots back a little deeper against Cody Glass. Pass up the left side, redirected into the Penguin zone by Pasternak. From the far corner. Pass out into the neutral ice. Set up for Crosby. Comes to Raquel. And he will lift it with a backhand into the Boston zone, but Mason Lohrei right there. Coming behind the net toward the near side. Lohrai's pass got away from Zacha, but he'll chase it down in the neutral zone. Zacha gives a left wing pass to Pasternak. Into the middle to Geeky. Over to Peak, just outside the top of the circle. They work it back to Geeky at the left circle, and he tried a one-time a pass to Pasternak on the back door and missed.
Yeah, I like him trying to find Pasternak, but I also like him shooting the puck in that situation, too.
Oh, Geeky's had the hot hand, too, lately, as Lindholm in the near corner sent it toward the back of the net. Koepke off the far wall. Walked along the blue line by Wotherspoon. Tried to shoot. It was knocked out of the zone by Achari, and then Wotherspoon able to hold Achari at bay near the Boston blue line. 3 minutes to go here in the first period. 2-0 Bruins have the lead. Desharnais to Shea. And up ice come the Penguins. Desharnais will regain coming through the neutral zone. Down the right side. Shoots one wide to the short side. Past the outstretched glove of Korpisalo. At the back of the net. Wotherspoon there along with Ian Mitchell. Mitchell will play it up the far boards. Came back his direction and he goes across ice with it this time. Mitchell played 13 games for Boston last year. Spent the entire season in Providence so far, and for today. The bouncing puck comes into the near corner of the Bruins zone. Pass came free to Tomasino, but his shot was forced wide of the net. Along the end boards, they dig for it. In the far corner, Danton Heinen. Back along the end wall again. Hayes got sealed away from it by Coyle, who kicked the puck free. Patra gets the pass out near his own blue line. Gives to Mitchell. Off to the left side, Merkulov will get it into the Penguin zone. Gave away, and it'll come back out to neutral ice. Zadorov settles it there. 1:50 to go in the period. Zadorov gives to Carlo off the far wall. Pass jumped away from Merkulov, and it'll be gathered in here by Malkin. Malkin carries across the Boston line. Glass right back to Malkin, twisting toward the net with a backhander that went just wide. Beauvillier got it to Letang for a long shot. Save made, and the rebound pushed in behind the net. We got a penalty coming up.
Bruins did not defend that well at all. I mean, that's Pittsburgh coming up the ice with the puck, and one pass is going to be two Bruins at the blue line, and it leads to Malkin with that opportunity on the spin-around shot. I think he takes a stick up high, does Malkin, down around the front of the net.
2-minute minor, slashing.
We'll call it a slash against Zadorov.
Through the neutral zone. Yeah, one pass going to be two guys. And
for Zadorov, who has stayed out of the penalty box of late, Had just one minor in the last 8 games coming into this one. But takes one here, and the Penguins will go to the man advantage for the 3rd time in this period. They had a 2-man advantage earlier on for a little over a minute. Crosby wins the face-off, and they'll get it set up out of the blue line. Shot blocked by Lindholm, forced out of the zone. Penguins getting back onside. Crosby will hand it off along the right side to Hayes toward the corner against Wotherspoon. Gets ridden to the end boards. Raquel moved it along, and a pass back toward the point. Misses everyone and comes all the way back down into Pittsburgh territory. Carlson will start it up from his own zone. Skates it into the neutral ice, drops it back. Raquel will take from there. He carries to the Boston line. Pass off to the right side for Crosby. Crosby to the right circle. Harassed by Zacha. Gave it up and got it right back. Crosby tried to fire one across. It was blocked and came right to Raquel, who throws a shot on goal, but Korpisalo there to make the save.
Yeah, during that last sequence when Zadorov was called for the slash, it was Carlo actually got his kind of right arm up into the face of Malkin in front of the net. That's where Malkin was smarting from. That wasn't where the penalty occurred. He's actually on the bench getting some repairs right now, so that was undetected. I still haven't seen the slash by Zadorov, so not saying he didn't do it. I just haven't seen it.
Carlson gives to Crosby on the right side. Hayes out of the corner to Crosby back at the blue line. Over to Carlson. One-timer blocked by Coyle. And the Bruins will move it up ice with Beecher angling it off the far boards. Penguins have it back in their own zone. 25 to go in the period. Hayes will bring back into the Boston zone. Here's Crosby on the right side. Knocked away from Carlson by Coyle. And Lohrei will skate it out of the Boston zone from the red line. He sends it across ice and angled into the Pittsburgh end with 10 seconds to go in the period. It'll come behind the net on the stick of Carlson. Long pass out into neutral ice. Penguins won't be able to get anything going before the end of the period, and some boos rain down here at the PPG Paints Arena as their Penguins head to the locker room down by a pair after the first period. We'll be back with our first intermission from Pittsburgh coming up on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home,
Yes, goal.
or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you've been waiting to hear Macy's winter clearance, now's the time. Get everything you've been eyeing all season long at prices that are worth the wait. How good? Think 40 to 70% off coats, sweaters, boots, and more. Plus, come in and get an extra 20% off all your clearance purchases. That's up to 75% off. So if you've been waiting to treat yourself to something cute and cozy, hurry into Macy's now, because you're not the only one ready to score amazing winter deals. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home,
Yes, goal.
or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out,
so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
If you've been waiting to hear Macy's winter clearance, now's the time. Get everything you've been eyeing all season long at prices that are worth the wait. How good? Think 40 to 70% off coats, sweaters, boots, and more. Plus, come in and get an extra 20% off all your clearance purchases. That's up to 75% off. So if you've been waiting to treat yourself to something cute and cozy, hurry into Macy's now, because you're not the only one ready to score amazing winter deals. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
At Enterprise, we know you're constantly on the move. Getting this,
Thanks, Mom.
fixing that. You reach a destination, and then it's on to the next. And when life is moving at the speed of, well, life, Enterprise is right there with you, around the corner and around the globe. We'll keep you moving forward. Enterprise, for lives in drive.
Connect with Boston's home for sports online. 98.5 thesportshub.com.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification across the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network.
From the Town Fair Tire Studios, this is Boston's home for sports. WBZ-FM and HD Boston 98.5 The Sports Hub. Station.
Back here in Pittsburgh, first intermission. Bruins have a 2-0 lead over the Penguins, and it's time to take a look at the NHL Plays of the Week. Action around the league heating up, coming back from the Four Nations break. Alex Ovechkin scored 4 times in pursuit of Wayne Gretzky's scoring record. The Winnipeg Jets set a franchise record with their winning streak. David Pastrnak had multiple milestones this week and a whole lot more. Here are your NHL Plays of the Week.
Vladimir Tarasenko spun out of the right wing corner. Gustafsson now to Ben Sherratt. Sherratt with the power play expiring. Back to Gustafsson. His pass stolen. Out of the box is Rossi. Eriksson finds him. Hits a clean break. Rossi and a little Talbot. Fans on his shotgun and back, and he scores! Marco Rossi wins it in overtime. And the Wild come all the way back in Detroit. They stun the Red Wings 4-3.
Leo Carlson starts up the ice. The feed right wing, Terry back to Leo. Gliding through center. Carlson to Terry. Moving side of the net. A shot, save, rebound, score! The Ducks win the game in overtime on Leo Carlson's goal.
Oh, he may get it.
My
They're
goodness.
doing him a favor right now.
Okay.
They're doing him a favor.
Number 8's already on the ice.
Yeah, they're doing him a favor.
Didn't think we were going to see to pull the goalie at 3 goals. Chris Knobloch not conceding anything. Okay. Alex Ovechkin on the ice. Well, the game plan for the guys in red is pretty clear, and the chant for Ovi Chuck will start here.
All of a sudden, he's got some jump in his legs.
Yes, he does. Connor McDavid still without a shot on goal today with 2:40 to go in the third period. And a puck that comes to Ovechkin. He scores! He did it! He did it! It's a hat trick for Ovechkin! Ty Emberson's stick broke on the center point shot attempt. And Ovechkin with a hat trick. It's 8:82. And the Capitals lead it 7-3. You gotta be here to believe it. Absolutely incredible.
Fox holding on to the puck with pressure from Raquel and Beauvillier, 2 men high on the Pittsburgh forecheck. Rangers able to clear. Miller pokes it free from Joseph, walks in, shoots, scores! J.T. Miller wires it home, and the Rangers have a 2-1 lead.
Zegras out at center, 2-on-2 over the blue line. Crowd booing him, drops it off to Lacombe, moving in, pass across, a one-time shot, rebound sent right through the goal mouth. Right through the open goal mouth. Now the Wings get it. Kane on a breakaway. He could end it. He moves in. He shoots. He scores! Showtime ends this one in Detroit. Final score in overtime. Red Wings 5 and Anaheim 4.
Scheifele on his forehand. He didn't like the read and curls away again. Now he'll drop it for Nikolai Ehlers. Shooting stop. Rebound. They score! Mark Scheifele. It's goal number 329. A Winnipeg Jets franchise record. The team's first ever draft pick is now first overall in goal scoring. And it's a game winner for Scheifele. 2-1, the final score in overtime tonight.
What a finish.
Leafs need a whistle here. Yeah, they sure do. Here's Oliver Ekman-Larsson shooting it in. Round on the boards, cleared. Stolen back by Toronto. Centering pass in on goalie, score! Pontus Holmberg coming off the right side, lifts it over Swayman to tie the game with 46 seconds left. Working in on goal, doesn't shoot it, now gets in on goal! Pad save, what a beauty made by Stolars! He's lost his stick in the fray. The Leafs trying to get it out, and they will just get it out in the head. Marner with a breakaway, he's all alone, in on goal, scores! Holy Mackinac! Goaltender Anthony Stolars saves the game, and Marner wins it.
Near side for Carlson. There's a shot, he scores, and it's Alex Ovechkin. On the left side, he crossed up Ladar on a shot from the office. That's what they came to see. It's goal 883. With 15:08 to go, it's 2-1.
Velarde trying to get it out in front. He does, and a shot they score. Kyle Connor bounces one in, and it's 3-0 Winnipeg. Just an excellent shift for the Jets.
Carlson with 2 goals tonight. Here come the Penguins, 2-on-1. Malkin near circle, slows down, shoots it, scores! And Getty Malkin, the overtime hero. And the Penguins take down the in-state rival. The Flyers are down.
Here's Parker Wotherspoon up the right side. Drops it off to Pasternak, trying to stick handle around Siplikov. Who knocked the puck free. They throw it in front and they score. Bit of a broken play, but the Bruins have cut it back within 1. Pasternak's got it. And that is point number 800 in his career. 800 points in the career of David Pasternak. He's added 2 more today with a goal and an assist in the first period. Big reason the Bruins have a 2-0 lead here in our first intermission. We'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard coming up next on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
With Cox Mobile, you're covered coast to coast, so you can call your friends anytime on that road trip from New York City to LA, even in, Franklin, Illinois.
Huh, what if I call from Franklin, Georgia?
Yep, covered.
Ooh, Franklin, Texas?
Uh-huh.
Franklin, Kansas, Missouri, Virginia, Nebraska,
all
Connecticut.
covered. Cox Mobile runs on the network with more nationwide coverage than T-Mobile and has call quality you can rely on. Cox Mobile, the smart way to mobile. Cox Internet required. Comparison based on percentage of area covered by T-Mobile as compared to Cox Mobile from FCC National Broadband Map of US as of 12/31/23. Learn more at cox.com/mobile.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club, politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize, and turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you've been waiting to hear Macy's winter clearance, now's the time. Get everything you've been eyeing all season long at prices that are worth the wait. How good? Think 40 to 70% off coats, sweaters, boots, and more. Plus, come in and get an extra 20% off all your clearance purchases. That's up to 75% off. So if you've been waiting to treat yourself to something cute and cozy, hurry into Macy's now, because you're not the only one ready to score amazing winter deals. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
The Celtics play here at the Sports Hub.
Bruins have a 2-0 lead over Pittsburgh after one. Let's take a look at the other action around the NHL today. The Tampa Bay Lightning picked up a 3-1 victory over the Washington Capitals in a losing effort. Alex Ovechkin gets another goal in pursuit of Gretzky's record. The Islanders put up a 7 spot on the Predators today, a 7-4 victory for New York in that one, coming on the heels of their win in Boston on Thursday night. They are scoreless down in Florida, the Panthers and the Calgary Flames, early on in the second period. Those are all the games either in progress or already completed today. Everything else is later. The Detroit Red Wings and Columbus Blue Jackets face off at 6 o'clock in a Stadium Series game. That is at Ohio Stadium, the home of the Ohio State football Buckeyes, and should be over 90,000 fans in attendance for that one. One period in the books here in Pittsburgh. It's the Bruins 2 and the Penguins nothing. We'll have the second period coming up on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
American Giant makes great clothing, sweatshirts, jeans, and more right here in the U.S. Visit American-Giant.com and get 20% off your first order with code STAPLE20. That's 20% off your first order at American-Giant.com, code STAPLE20.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you've been waiting to hear Macy's winter clearance, now's the time. Get everything you've been eyeing all season long at prices that are worth the wait. How good? Think 40 to 70% off coats, sweaters, boots, and more. Plus, come in and get an extra 20% off all your clearance purchases. That's up to 75% off. So if you've been waiting to treat yourself to something cute and cozy, hurry into Macy's now, because you're not the only one ready to score amazing winter deals. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home, yes, goal, or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
This country was built on a distinctly American work ethic, but today, work is in trouble. We've outsourced most of our manufacturing to other countries, and with that, we sent away good jobs and diminished our capability to make things. American Giant is a clothing company that's pushing back against this tide. They make a variety of high-quality clothing and activewear, like sweatshirts, jeans, dresses, jackets, and so much more. All made right here in the USA, from growing the cotton and adding the final touches. So when you buy American Giant, you create jobs for seamsters, cutters, and factory workers in towns and cities across the United States. And it's about more than an income. Jobs bring pride, purpose. They stitch people together. If all that sounds good to you, visit American-Giant.com and get 20% off your first order when you use code STAPLE20 at checkout. That's 20% off your first order at American-Giant.com with promo code STAPLE20.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Listen live. Check out our podcast with the 98.5 The Sports Hub app.
Bruins with a 2-0 lead over the Penguins after one. We're joined by one of the goal scorers downstairs, Mason Warai, a power play goal in that first period. Mason, a lot more is being asked of you with McAvoy out of the lineup here in the last couple of weeks. How comfortable have you been on that first power play unit?
I mean, yeah, it's, somewhere I feel really comfortable. It's something I've done for a long time at every level I've played at. So, just jump on there and try to move pucks. And obviously, I've said it before, so many good players on the unit where if you spread it around and get pucks to the net, good things are going to happen.
You guys get that power play goal. Tell me a little bit about how that play set up from your eyes?
I mean, pass the pot middle, and then, I mean, he made a great play finding Pav down low instead of shooting it. And then, Pav, head up and finds me through the seam with a great pass. Just tried to shoot around their first guy and found the net.
Defensively, Pittsburgh, we know, has a lot of talented players up front. What do you need to focus on to keep them off the scoreboard?
Yeah, we're a good forechecking team. I think it starts there. I mean, the more we can get pucks deep, get pucks behind them, and wear them down, the less they're going to have the energy to get into the O-zone and play down there. So it's all about being hard and simple. And, that's going to be the message here between periods. And just keep it rolling here into the second.
I appreciate the time. Good luck in the second.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks to Mason Lorai. He's brought to you by TD Bank. TD Bank cardholders score special benefits at TD Garden, from pro shop discounts and free tours to free popcorn and more. Learn more at the TD Garden website. TD Bank, bank of the Boston Celtics and Bruins.
Yeah, a couple things, Ryan. Just, you look at replays again to watch the hit there by Joseph on Marchand, and I think the opinion of the referee was that Marchand was losing his balance a little bit, and it sure looked like he was, actually. I thought that Joseph could have held up, but he didn't. But my whole thing was they should have reviewed it, and if they felt that way, then I get it. I understand that, and make no call, but they could have reviewed it. They've got that tool at their disposal to make sure that they get it right. Especially a questionable hit on a captain of the Boston Bruins, on a star player. Yeah. On anybody, but especially that. And a guy that has to leave the game because of injury because of it.
Right. The other thing, if you look at that replay, the reason that Marchand lost his balance is that Joseph's stick takes out his left skate as he goes into the corner. As the Bruins come forward here, as they finish off killing this power play, and a shot by Coyle from the left circle, gobbled up by Nedeljkovic.
Ended up being a 2-on-1.
Yeah.
And Lindholm gets his puck over to Coyle on the left side for the quick shot. Nice save by Nedeljkovic, who's made a couple good ones here today, as has Korpisalo. We're looking for Marchand on the bench, and you do not see him right now, so
no word yet from the Bruins on his status.
And doing the same thing for the Pittsburgh Penguins to see if Joseph's on the bench after taking a hit from Kastler. No, he's not.
They did just update. P.O. Joseph, upper body injury, will not return today, so his day is done. Puck around the far side into the neutral zone and swept into the Boston zone by Achari. Rattled back around the far side. Held in over there by Carlson. Sends it toward the slot.
Good block by Peak.
Yeah, Benstrom shot, never made it to the net. Dumped back in by Shea around the far corner. Lifted up by Lorai. Zaka's got it along the hash marks. To Geekie, chopped away from him. Comes through the slot. Peak is there. Off the near side for Pasternak, trying to clear the zone. Instead, it's directed back toward Lorai, and he'll pivot back a little deeper. Minute 20 gone in this second period. Bruins with a 2-0 lead, thanks to goals by David Pasternak and Mason Lorai in the first period. Peak to Lorai, under pressure. Sent it into the middle, picked off by Glass, but Zaka able to stop him from getting a shot off, and Koepke will push it up into the Pittsburgh zone. Out of the near corner comes Matt Grzelcyk. Goes behind the Pittsburgh net. Penguins will go from right to left here in the second period. Malkin in the neutral ice. Turns away from Merkulov. Up the right side. Beauvillier will get it deep into Boston territory. Ian Mitchell back for the Bruins. In that far corner. Puck taken behind the net. Matt Patra. Deals it to Parker Wotherspoon coming out. He'll come through neutral ice. Dump in from the blue line. Around the near side. Patra waiting for it along the hash marks. Got knocked off balance. Puck will be brought back through the neutral zone by Glass. He pursues it into Boston territory, but Wotherspoon will take it over there. Now Mark Kastelik will drag the Bruins through the neutral zone. He tried a shot. That was smothered by Shea. Ricocheted back out into neutral. Carlo tried to steer it back ahead. Bruins are going to be offside as they had yet to clear the zone.
A little trivia for you here, Ryan.
Oh, I love Bob Beer's trivia.
Why are they called the Penguins?
Well, that's a good question. I never really thought about it, to be honest.
There's a very good reason for it. So they came into the league in '67.
Yeah.
We'll get to it the next topic.
Okay. Puck comes back into Boston territory. Goes. DL helped it out of the zone. Mikel trying to reload it quickly. Game to Brian Rust. He'll drop it back into his own zone. Ryan Shea from the blue line. Played it ahead. Corpusalo goes behind the net. Gorov helped it up ice.
Good breakout.
Here's Viel. Viel will chip it down the right wing corner. Goes in there against Shea. Viel lost his stick in pursuit of the puck. Regains it as the puck comes back out toward the blue line. Clubbed down by Charlie Coyle. Put one down the left circle. Now it came out in front, and Viel with a chance on the doorstep with Fan on it.
He'll push that puck over to him, and if he's ready for that, that's an empty net goal.
Crosby directs it into the Boston zone and heads off on a Pittsburgh change. 3.5 minutes gone in the second period. Bruins moving from left to right as Pete deals off the near boards to Elias Lindholm. Merkulov will give chase as Desharnais goes behind the net. Send it out into the neutral ice. Pete gets it right back to Coyle, and back across the line they come. Coyle from the right circle. Had it hit Letang and go wide of the net. Lifted up with a backhand by Hayes out across the blue line. Lorai got tangled up over there, but comes back toward the red line as he deals with Danton Heinen.
Just got word Brad Marchand, upper body, unlikely to return.
Hayes will send around the far side. Lorai redirects it behind the Bruins net. Lorai in the far corner. Off the far side now.
Long shift for a couple of these guys on the back end here.
Over a minute now. According to the center ice scoreboard, Coyle gets it to the red line. One hands it across the Pittsburgh line, but Carlson right there. And back they come. Down the left wing side comes Lazak, trying to get it in front. First one blocked by Mitchell. Second effort by Bemstrom along the near side corner. Battle for possession. Chari got it toward the slot, but nobody there. And it'll be cleared out by Laura. Geekie brings the Bruins ahead. Pasternak pulls up along the hash marks left side and try to get it back toward the point, but nobody home. Zadorov retreats. Carlo pass up the right wing side. Geekie tried to redirect that deep. Cut off by Grizzly. Gave it up and got it back. Past the 5-minute mark of this second period. Malkin gets a long cross ice pass, kicks it onto his stick, steps across the line, was waiting for help as the Penguins were changing. Turned over. Volley back toward the Pittsburgh zone. It'll come back toward Malkin, and across the Boston line he comes. They leave it along the right wing side for Glass. On the end boards, Geekie steps in front of one. Zadorov taken down going into the far corner as he and Malkin tangled.
Malkin had fallen down there.
Desharnais, Shea to the top of the left circle. Here's Beauvillier with a shot. Blocker stop Corpusalo.
Carlo doing a good job of keeping Malkin to the outside.
Glass to Beauvillier, a turnaround shot from inside the near circle, and that one went up and over. At the blue line, it's kept in by Desharnais. Up into the air. Glass waiting for it to come down. Had it knocked away from him by Zaka, but not out of the zone. Shea down the left wing circle. Goes behind the Bruins net. Hands it off over to that right side. Back to Desharnais at the blue line, and a shot is seen all the way by Corpusalo. He hangs on to it. And we've got 6:03 gone here in the second period. The Bruins have a 2-0 lead here in Pittsburgh on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V. It's your local Honda dealer.
With Cox Mobile, you're covered coast to coast, so you can call your friends anytime on that road trip from New York City to L.A., even in, Franklin, Illinois.
Huh, what if I call from Franklin, Georgia?
Yep, covered.
Ooh, Franklin, Texas?
Uh-huh.
Franklin, Kansas, Missouri, Virginia, Nebraska,
all
Connecticut?
covered. Cox Mobile runs on the network with more nationwide coverage than T-Mobile and has call quality you can rely on. Cox Mobile, the smart way to mobile. Cox Internet required. Comparison based on percentage of area covered by T-Mobile as compared to Cox Mobile from FCC National Broadband Map of U.S. as of 12/31/23. Learn more at cox.com/mobile.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you've been waiting to hear Macy's winter clearance, now's the time. Get everything you've been eyeing all season long at prices that are worth the wait. How good? Think 40 to 70% off coats, sweaters, boots, and more. Plus, come in and get an extra 20% off all your clearance purchases. That's up to 75% off. So if you've been waiting to treat yourself to something cute and cozy, hurry into Macy's now, because you're not the only one ready to score amazing winter deals. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
the home of the Revs, the Sports Hub.
13:57 left here in the second period. Bruins have a 2-0 lead. All right, I've been dying to get the answer to this. Why are they called the Penguins?
1967, they came into the league. They had a fan vote of what the name should be.
Okay.
The arena they played in was the Civic Arena. It was shaped like, it looked like an igloo.
It looked like an igloo, yeah. And that was
so
it.
they named them the Penguins.
So I just assumed they named the igloo after the Penguins, but it was kind of the other way around.
No, it looked like an igloo. It actually had a retractable roof. And they had tennis matches there. And but there's also a triangle in their emblem if you look. You're looking down there, and that's for the business district. It's called the Golden Triangle. I thought it might be the point where the three rivers come together.
Right.
You know the rivers?
Monongahela.
That's good.
Is one of them. The Allegheny is one of them.
It's another one. And the it's a state that's borders Pennsylvania.
The Ohio?
That's it.
Okay. That should be the easy one to remember, right?
Easiest one to say, that's for sure.
Puck in the Boston zone. Battle for in the far corner. It'll come back to the point as the Penguins try to get set up. Carlson give away out near the blue line. Kastelik will bring the Bruins ahead. Gains the Pittsburgh line and backhands around behind the net. They were changing. Ticking down toward 13 minutes left in this second period. Pass out of the reach of Tomasino. Chased behind the net. Ian Mitchell will steer it around the far boards. Chopped ahead by Pasternak. Patre will chase up ice, but Shea back in time to make the play. Goes behind the net. And wheels it back toward the Boston zone. Wotherspoon sends it right back out of there. He's got Pasternak up the left side with numbers. Pasternak trying to get it in front. It ricocheted back to him. Got the shot, and then it was sent back in front by Merkulov.
Yeah, first pass was blocked, but it came right back to Pasternak on that side.
Mitchell out near the right point. Merkulov backhands one to Pasternak. Pasternak going to bring it back out toward the blue line, but his pass disrupted by Hayes.
And anybody on the ice knows that when that puck gets turned over in a certain area or the block, Pasternak just takes off. And he's gone. The Bruins had numbers there.
Merkulov tried to get it to Pasternak along the bottom of that left circle and just disrupted at the last moment. On the end board, Pasternak shoved by with Tang. Comes toward the near corner. Carlo pinching down the wall to keep it alive. Merkulov floated one toward the net. Bounced off of Elias Lindholm into the far corner. Zadorov at the far point. Gives over to Carlo near side, and his long shot is gloved by Nedeljkovic.
Well, you're seeing some different looks, right? So that's a chance for Merkulov playing alongside Lindholm. Pasternak was out there as well. Lindholm had just dropped out on the change, so some different looks with Marchand not in the game right now.
Again, the word on Marchand just minutes ago. The upper body is unlikely to return after taking a hit from behind in the first period. P.O. Joseph of the Penguins also is done for the day. He was the guy who hit Marchand and was later leveled on a stiff check by Kastelik. Face-off win by the Penguins. Desharnais will wrap it up the far boards and out into the neutral ice. Knocked away from Achari as he came to the Boston line. Lindholm sends it back through the neutral zone. Geekie held at bay at the attacking blue line. Backhanded back into the Boston zone by Bemstrom. Up the near boards it comes. Knocked away from Lindholm. Trickles toward the front of the net, and Korpisalo able to get it covered there.
Fans, WellPoint is proud to honor our hometown heroes all season long. This week, they are honoring Lieutenant Sandy Picard from the Lawrence Police Department and her therapy dog, Ollie. Bring smiles to those who need it most. To nominate someone making a difference in your community, visit 985thesportshub.com/heroes today.
If you were with us in the pregame show today, we mentioned the Rangers and Avalanche pulled off a trade. Ryan Lindgren and Jimmy Vesey going to Colorado for Calvin DeHaan, Juuso Parssinen, and 2 draft picks. Been another trade today as well, as the Minnesota Wild acquiring Gustav Nyquist from Nashville for a second-round pick today.
And they retain, Nashville retains part of that salary, I think 50%.
50% of the salary, yeah.
Thanks to Kevin Paul Dupont for letting us know that.
That was part of the deal with the Rangers as well. They retained half of Ryan Lindgren's salary to make that deal happen. Aaron pass comes deep into Boston territory. Lohrei going to spin it in behind Korpisalo toward the near side. Malkin got in front of Lindholm. Puck along the end boards. Peak handed it off to Lohrei. And Mason going to carry up through the neutral ice. Dump in from the blue line all the way around near side.
I don't think he realized everybody was going to change. That would have been a different dump there.
Off the near boards, Grizzlick's got it just inside the Boston line. Forced out, though, by Geekie. Now a giveaway in the neutral zone. Kastelik stepping in for a shot that whistled past the ear of Nedeljkovic.
Man, Pittsburgh just gives up that blue line, do they?
Carlo plays it back in deep. Got away from Beecher at the back of the net. Crosby trying to get it out. Knocked down by Kastelik in the neutral ice and dumped right back in. Nedeljkovic waiting for it at the outside of the trapezoid. Now we got a penalty coming up.
Yeah, Beecher's going to get it. He trips. Was a trip. Was that Raquel back there for that puck, I believe?
Crosby.
No,
it was Raquel. I'm sorry. You're right.
Yeah, I think Beecher just gets his stick in on this.
So with 10-12 to go in the second, Pittsburgh will go to the power play for the fourth time in this one. Still looking to get on the board as the Bruins have a 2-0 lead. Pittsburgh came into the day over 24% success rate for the year, 8th in the league on the power play. Between the two meetings this year, they are 0 for 5 against the Bruins. Boyle will stand in against Crosby for faceoff. Down to our left. Faceoff win back to the point for Grizzly. Then it down toward the corner. Try to get it to Rust. Instead, Crosby goes across ice. Hayes had to chase it off to Karam. Pursued by Zadorov. Keeps the puck alive. Back to the left corner. It comes to Crosby. Into the far circle. Zaka take away. Zadorov gets it from him and sends one 180 feet.
Zaka's had a strong game. 2 primary assists here today. That's a nice, smart, heady play right there. Just chip that puck back to Zadorov. It's an easy clear instead of him having to try to clear it on the backhand.
Hayes hands off to Crosby at the Boston blue line. Carlo picked off a pass but couldn't get it out. They got it across to the right side for Rust, and his shot knocked up and over the net by Korpisalo. And now a steal at neutral ice by Koepke. He's got a shorthanded break. His shot saved by Nedeljkovic. He'll drop it back into play. Minute 7 to go on the Beecher penalty.
Koepke a little frustrated with himself. Good speed to break away from Grizzlick that time. Grizzlick, it was him that turned the puck over the offensive blue line.
Koepke looking to break an 11-game pointless streak. Malkin pivots with a puck at center ice, and then an errant pass gives Wotherspoon a chance to hammer one back down to Pittsburgh's end. 40 seconds left on the power play. Penguins started out. Malkin gives through the middle and onto the right side, offside.
They're here in the booze right now. The Penguins are. For Beecher, you know, that's, you got a 2-0 lead. You know, you're halfway through the game. You can't be reaching in 200 feet from your net.
Right.
You know, that's and it's the second game in a row. He drew 2 penalties last game, but he took one just inside the blue line in the offensive zone last game, and that was a trip. This is a trip. So he's got to move his feet and not. You check with your feet, and then the stick helps, right? You don't reach with the stick. And those are the type of penalties that put you in the press box right there.
Pass tipped off of Coyle, gets into the Boston zone. Zadorov with a big check along the far boards. Puck will come back in his direction after that hit on Letang. Malkin's got it in the right corner. Deals down along the end boards. Tomasino trying to carry it back toward the corner. And out of room quickly. Zaka's got a free puck and gives it to Carlo, and all the way down ice it goes.
Zaka's under pressure. It's a touch pass to Carlo, who's now on his forehand as opposed to Zaka being on his backhand to try to clear a puck under pressure.
Power play
Smart
over.
play.
8 minutes to go here in the second. Bruins have killed off 4 penalties today, and now the Penguins are going to get whistled offside at the Boston blue line. So we'll step aside. 7:55 left here in the second. Bruins up 2-0 on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
With Cox Mobile, you're covered coast to coast, so you can call your friends anytime on that road trip from New York City to L.A., even in, Franklin, Illinois.
Huh, what if I call from Franklin, Georgia?
Yep, covered.
Ooh, Franklin, Texas?
Uh-huh.
Franklin, Kansas, Missouri, Virginia, Nebraska,
all
Connecticut.
covered. Cox Mobile runs on the network with more nationwide coverage than T-Mobile and has call quality you can rely on. Cox Mobile, the smart way to mobile. Cox Internet required. Comparison based on percentage of area covered by T-Mobile as compared to Cox Mobile from FCC National Broadband Map of U.S. as of 12/31/23. Learn more at cox.com/mobile.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You manage your business, we'll manage your finances. With Navigant Credit Union's cash management services, you'll boost efficiency and enhance performance. From collections to disbursements, it's the expertise you didn't know you needed. Try Navigant Credit Union today. Federally insured by NCUA.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 4.9% APR on a 2025 Civic or a 3.9% APR on a 2025 Accord or HRV. Hurry into your Honda dealer today.
See dealer for financing details. Exclude Civic Si and Type R.
The only place to hear the game, the Sports Hub.
7:55 to go here in the second period. Bruins have a 2-0 lead. They've got 4 assists today with those feats. The Shaws and Star Market Foundation has donated $400 to the Greater Boston Food Bank to help fight food insecurity. Learn more about feeding the puck for families at 985thesportshub.com/feedthepuck. The faceoff coming up just outside the Boston blue line. Those goals in the first period. David Pastrnak from Pavel Zacha and Morgan Geekie at 1:32. Mason Lohrei on the power play from Zacha and Pastrnak at 6:33. Puck gets dumped into the Boston zone and actually in over the glass and out of play.
Fans of Video Bank is teaming up with Boston legend Patrice Bergeron again this season for Assists for Kids to donate $37,000 to help Metro West families pay for youth hockey. Get details now at videobank.com/Team Bergeron.
Face this one off at center ice. Patra against Crosby. Patra, second effort, won it, but the Penguins able to steal and dumped in by Shea. Around the far corner it comes to Lohrei. Bruins defending to our left, shooting to our right here in this second period as Pastrnak gets one ahead for Patra, trying to outrace Carlson to that puck and shot it up and over the net. In the far corner, Geekie and Pastrnak digging in for it. Puck played along the far wall. Ryan Shea will push it out of the zone. Chopped at by Lohrei. It'll come across the ice and peek at his own blue line. To Pastrnak in front of the penalty boxes and to the Pittsburgh line, but cut off by Shea. Volleyed back through the neutral zone. Crosby, as it hits the ice, got it over to Rust, and a chance from the far circle by Raquel. Hit the outside of the net.
Well, what a play by Crosby.
He might make it in this league. Puck taken off the far boards by Rust. Here's Letang stepping in left circle with a shot as Patra slid out to try to block that instead. Gloved by Korpisalo.
What a play by Sidney Crosby here. This is, I mean, it's just so high end. He's able to get this puck to Rust. I thought Rust was going to take the shot, but instead he reaches around and makes a nice little backhand pass over to Raquel, and Raquel just, I think he just misfired. I think he's trying to go high. Korpisalo's getting over there, moving right to left with the glove, and he tried to go high to the short side, it looked like.
Sidney Crosby entering the day 9th all-time in points, 11th in assists. He is 2 behind Gordie Howe in the assist category. On the near side, boards battle for possession in the Boston zone.
All-time leading Penguin in assists.
Right.
Still behind Lemieux in terms of points. He is
66 behind Lemieux.
Ironically.
Rather appropriate. Kastelik along the near boards. Plays it in deeper in the Pittsburgh zone. Letang tried to steer it up the middle. Kastelik takes away. Couldn't get it to the net. Came back to him. A chance in front and 2 chances for Viel.
Viel's had some good looks.
From right on the doorstep is shot by Kastelik. Ends up in the near corner. Here's Carlo from the right point. Shot it wide to the short side. Off the far boards it came for Ida Zadorov, and his drive gets blocked. Letang into the corner, picked off by Beecher.
Good fourth line shift right now by the Bruins.
Round to Carlo it comes. He gives it to Koepke for a shot. That one knocked down by Nedeljkovic, and Malkin's got it near circle. Steers it into the middle and out of the zone onto stick of glass, and he'll dump it in and go for a change. 5:35 left here in the second. Bruins up 2. Ian Mitchell behind the Bruins net. Taking his time, and he'll Hammer one up the left wing boards. Didn't connect with Merkulov. Steered back toward the Boston net. And Wotherspoon will take his try at it this time. Danton Heinen shadowing him in front of the net. Left wing pass comes to Geekie. Koepke trying to push it forward. Could not get it into the zone. Penguins coming back the other way. Hayes has his pocket pick. Koepke will steer it up the left side. And now a foot race for it. Geekie side by side with Grzelcyk. They wave off the icing. Penguins, though, will get it cleared. Heinen got it to the blue line, picked off by Coyle, but as he was waiting to get everyone back on side, it was taken away from him. Coming out of the Penguin zone, the pass up the right wing side. Bemstrom got it into the Boston zone before it was taken away by Loride. Rink wide, Lindholm gloves it down. He's in a battle with Shea in front of the penalty box. Comes back toward Peak of the Boston blue line. Loride gets it right back to Peak, and now Coyle will lift one into the air. Glove down by Nedeljkovic in front of the net, and he drops it back into play for Shea. Volleyed back through neutral ice. Lizotte couldn't handle it. Peak to Loride. Loride going to skate it up toward the red line and dump it in. He'll head off as part of a Bruins change. Shea reverses it around toward the far side and hands off over there to Desharnais. Zadorov denies an entry. Puck free at the red line. Dump in by Desharnais. Penguins will change it up. Under 4 minutes to go here in the second period. Puck gets away from Pasternak coming out of the zone. Crosby will get it right back in. Here's Russ down the right circle in front. A chance as it bangs around off the outside of the net. Settled by Grzelcyk out near the left point. He'll play it to the back of the net.
Yeah, that puck turned over by the Bruins in the neutral zone, right back the other way against a dangerous line.
Rust out near the blue line, challenged by Geekie. Shot attempt is blocked and goes up and out of play. They'll take a break with 3:27 to go here in the second. It's the Bruins with a 2-0 lead on the road here on the 98.5, the Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
With Cox Mobile, you're covered coast to coast, so you can call your friends anytime on that road trip from New York City to LA, even in, Franklin, Illinois.
Huh, what if I call from Franklin, Georgia?
Yep, covered.
Ooh, Franklin, Texas?
Uh-huh.
Franklin, Kansas, Missouri, Virginia, Nebraska,
all
Connecticut.
covered. Cox Mobile runs on the network with more nationwide coverage than T-Mobile and has call quality you can rely on. Cox Mobile, the smart way to mobile. Cox Internet required. Comparison based on percentage of area covered by T-Mobile as compared to Cox Mobile from FCC National Broadband Map of US as of 12/31/23. Learn more at cox.com/mobile.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger. Because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you've been waiting to hear Macy's winter clearance, now's the time. Get everything you've been eyeing all season long at prices that are worth the wait. How good? Think 40 to 70% off coats, sweaters, boots, and more. Plus, come in and get an extra 20% off all your clearance purchases. That's up to 75% off. So if you've been waiting to treat yourself to something cute and cozy, hurry into Macy's now, because you're not the only one ready to score amazing winter deals. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Felger and Maz, afternoons 2 to 6 on the Sports Hub.
Fans, the Bruins are bringing you the best snow day ever. Tune in Tuesday, March 11th, as the Bruins and Panthers on-ice action is transformed into animation using NHL Edge data. Watch the same action happening on the ice, but in a whole new way for a one-of-a-kind viewing experience. Learn more at bostonbruins.com/best snow day ever. 3:27 to go, second period. Bruins with a 2-0 lead. They've led this one since 92 seconds into the first period. Face off to the left of Jonas Korpisalo. Stopped 15 shots so far today. Bruins have 18 down the other end. Puck spun in behind the net by Matt Grzelcyk. Poked out in front. Ricochets off toward the near circle. Picked up by Cole Koepke. Steers it through the neutral zone, and Beecher will chop it in. Going behind the net to play it, Nedeljkovic. Into the far corner. On the forecheck, Koepke and Kastelik able to keep that puck in deep. It'll come back around the near side. Malkin will steer it with a backhand across the ice. Kastelik picks it off from Letang in the neutral zone. Grzelcyk without a stick. diving and just batting that puck with a hand back in behind the Pittsburgh net. Now heads back toward the bench as Letang turns it over again in the neutral zone. Merkulov backhanding one toward the net as Elias Lindholm was getting in after it, but Nedeljkovic able to get it out of his crease quickly.
Letang, for as good a player as he is, he's always done that with the giveaways. Always.
Here's Coyle stepping in across the Pittsburgh line.
You know, when you have the puck on your stick that much, you are going to turn some pucks over. You try to make good passes, which he's really good at, but he's got some funny ones.
Well, we talked about that over the years with Pastrnak, right? I mean, you have that puck a lot.
No,
Sometimes you're going to make mistakes with it.
But the other thing of it is you're trying to make...
Here's Lindholm off a giveaway. He's got it right wing circle, sends one across. Merkulov tried to get it back to him instead of shooting, and the second pass got blocked. Puck will come all the way back into Boston territory, and Korpisalo forced to play it.
That was Carlson making a bad read. All of a sudden, it's a 2-on-1 for the Bruins, and they don't get anything out of it. As Merkulov tried to return that pass to Lindholm back on the right side, and it gets blocked away. But I don't like to see those chances go without a shot.
Rust from the red line will lift it into Boston territory. Carlo backhands it to Zadorov in the far corner. Up ice, a pass came to Geekie, knocked away off his stick and thrown back into the Boston zone by Lazat. Under 90 seconds to play in the period. Zaka pivots away from pressure, goes behind the net. Zadorov plays it off the far boards, and the pass just out of Pasternak's reach, coming through the neutral zone as Carlson goes behind the Pittsburgh net, trying to get away from Pastrnak. Pass deflected out of the air by Zaka in the neutral ice. Zadorov gives to Zaka inside his own zone. Off to the near circle. Carlo trying to clear it, and the puck ricochets up and out of play with 1:01 to go in the period.
Man, it's hockey season's the perfect time to replace your old boiler with a new Peerless boiler. Don't wait until you have no heat. Go to peerlessboilers.com for a dealer near you. And remember, Peerless Boilers, the world's best built boilers.
Remember, the Bruins play another afternoon game tomorrow. We'll be in Minnesota for their only visit of the year. Pre-game coverage will get underway at 3 o'clock Eastern. Face-off set for about 3:45. Face-off win by the Penguins, but a whistle is a little quick to encroach there, so they'll have to do this again. Off the draw, Penguins have it. Grzelcyk down the left wing circle. Wide angle shot off the stick of Korpisalo. Goes off the far boards and back towards Shea at the point. Hayes tried to throw it back in front. That's blocked. It'll be brought up and out of the zone by Beecher, and then he gets upended coming through the neutral ice. Shea to Heinen. Back across the Boston line. Left circle, floated one through the slot. Coming down the right side was Tomasino, but out of his reach.
To him.
Oh, Koepke had Beecher coming down the middle, didn't realize it.
Beecher moved the puck to the right side to Koepke, and Beecher took off up the middle without the puck, and he's wide open.
They were headed for a change. Maybe Koepke is expecting him to go.
Wide open. He blew right by the D after he moved that puck.
Wotherspoon's dump in, bounces in on goal off of Grzelcyk. Far side, it'll come back to Wotherspoon at the point with a shot. Pad save, Nedeljkovic. Right wing side, Mitchell cutting down into the corner, trying to get that in back in front, but a siren will sound to end the second period. Bruins still holding a 2-0 lead. Neither team has scored since the early portion of the first period, but it's the Bruins that are on the board. 2-0 leaders, and we'll be back to recap the first 40 minutes next on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
With Cox Mobile, you're covered coast to coast, so you can call your friends anytime on that road trip from New York City to L.A., even in, Franklin, Illinois.
Huh, what if I call from Franklin, Georgia?
Yep, covered.
Ooh, Franklin, Texas?
Uh-huh.
Franklin, Kansas, Missouri, Virginia, Nebraska,
Yeah, all
Connecticut.
covered. Cox Mobile runs on the network with more nationwide coverage than T-Mobile and has call quality you can rely on. Cox Mobile, the smart way to mobile. Cox Internet required. Comparison based on percentage of area covered by T-Mobile as compared to Cox Mobile from FCC National Broadband Map of U.S. as of 12/31/23. Learn more at cox.com/mobile.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you've been waiting to hear Macy's winter clearance, now's the time. Get everything you've been eyeing all season long at prices that are worth the wait. How good? Think 40 to 70% off coats, sweaters, boots, and more. Plus, come in and get an extra 20% off all your clearance purchases. That's up to 75% off. So if you've been waiting to treat yourself to something cute and cozy, hurry into Macy's now, because you're not the only one ready to score amazing winter deals. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
At Enterprise, we know you're constantly on the move. Getting this,
Thanks, Mom.
fixing that. You reach a destination, and then it's on to the next. And when life is moving at the speed of, well, life, Enterprise is right there with you, around the corner and around the globe. We'll keep you moving forward. Enterprise, for lives in drive.
Working hard is worth it if you're seeing results. And when it comes to working out, the same thing is true. You want the maximum benefit in the time you have, and that's exactly what Tonal is built for. And with their latest iteration, Tonal 2, you can ensure your workout is more tailored and effective than ever. Tonal's at-home strength training system uses adaptive weight to learn from your movement and set the optimal weight for every move, adjusting in 1-pound increments up to 250 pounds, challenging even the most advanced users to push their limits. You can also experience a full body burn with the new Aero HIIT workouts, the perfect blend of heart-pumping cardio and strength. Plus, the new built-in Smart View leverages a high-resolution camera that lets you see yourself during your workout, analyzes your movement, and provides real-time coaching, just like a personal trainer. Right now, Tonal is offering our listeners $200 off your Tonal purchase with promo code 200TONAL. That's Tonal.com and use promo code 200TONAL for $200 off your purchase. That's Tonal.com. Promo code 200TONAL for $200 off.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The home of the Bees, the Sports Hub.
Puck volleyed into the air, glove down by Malkin just outside the Pittsburgh blue line. Now regained by Boston back in their own zone. Pasternak tried to angle it behind the net. It hit the outside of the net. Bruins able to get it moving from there. Zacha gets one ahead to Pasternak, moving in behind the defense, and he scores! Just 1:32 into the first period, and Pasta's done it again. Bruins have a 1-0 lead. David Pasternak's 32nd goal of the season. Our amazing play presented by Timberline Construction, providing truly exceptional service in construction management, pre-construction, design, build, and due diligence support. Learn more at timberlineconstruction.com. Timberline Construction, exceptional, no exceptions. Bruins have a 2-0 lead after 2 periods here in Pittsburgh, and they've done most of it without their captain, Brad Marchand, who was knocked out of the game about 6 minutes into this one, but they've been able to play a solid game overall, and even shorthanded up front again.
Solid, but they got a little, I think, a little sloppy at times in the second period. They allowed that Crosby line to generate some good scoring chances, whether it was a turnover in the neutral zone or just not managing the puck as well as they'd like to, kind of coming up the ice. That line is so dangerous at attacking, and Crosby makes that high-end play when he picks it out of the air, and then picks it out of the air and makes the pass over to Raquel. So Raquel's had a couple good looks in that second period and wasn't able to put anything home. So you don't want to get sloppy. And then at the other end, if the game stays like this at 2-0, you're going to get more 2-on-1s, and you've got to do a better job with the 2-on-1s, right? You had one that was well executed right off the bat, shorthanded for the Bruins, where Lindholm made the pass over to Coyle, and Coyle got a good chance away, and it was a nice save by Nedeljkovic with the glove. But they had a couple of other 2-on-1s, and most notably the one between Lindholm and Merkulov. Merkulov tried to return the pass, and it was blocked off by Ryan Shea. Just the toe got it. Otherwise, Lindholm's got himself an open net. Viel's missed probably 2 open nets. I mean, he couldn't catch up with the puck on a couple of them, and good that he's up and getting an opportunity. You'd love to see him be able to convert on one of those, because the fourth line was probably was the most effective line, I think, in that period in terms of generating and having good shifts in the offensive zone. And I wish Kepi would have seen Beecher. I mean, wide open for a breakaway if he notices it, and he ended up dumping the puck. And I was like, ew. You know, it was a tough one because it's an easy give and go, and there's nobody in the passing lane. Just give it right back, but he didn't see it. That was right towards the end of the period. But you're going to get your chances. My point is, when you got defensemen like Letang and you've got Carlson, you know, they're high-risk guys, and you're going to get those chances coming back the other way. They can make things happen at the offensive end. So this is a challenge for the Bruins right now, where the situation they're in. They've had leads in some of these last 5 games that they played going into the third period, and they have not been able to close the game out properly. The last one they had was against Toronto, third period lead, 2-goal lead going into the third, and they come out on the short end in regulation, in overtime. So this is one that, look, you've put yourself in a good position to win. That wasn't your best period, but it was a decent period. Now you've got to close this thing out the right way.
To your point about the odd man rushes, we saw that, you know, the Bruins had a number of odd man rushes the other night against the Islanders and couldn't capitalize on them.
And a couple of them were just not executed properly. And, you know, unfortunately for a guy like Justin Brazo, who's in the press box here today, he had 2 of them. You know, and one of them he changed his mind a little bit, didn't even get a shot off, and then the other one, he waited a little bit too long, and I think it was D'Angelo that came across and got a piece of his stick just as he was trying to take a shot. So, you know, you've got some opportunities there missed, and these are, you know, when you play a lockdown defensive team, you don't get a lot of 2-on-1s, you don't get a lot of odd man rushes. When you're playing weaker defensive teams, you get those chances, you get those opportunities. You've got to be able to convert on a few of those. I mean, they don't come that often against good teams.
Well, and I'd like to see, you know, Merkulov, you getting an opportunity, called up from Providence yesterday. Be a little selfish and take that shot.
Maybe. I mean, if it goes back to Lindholm, it looks great.
It does,
but
right?
It didn't.
Yeah,
it didn't. So it's. But his game is, you know, he'll shoot it, but he's also kind of a playmaker. And
yes,
he felt the right thing to do there was to go right back to Lindholm. You can get the goaltender Nedeljkovic moving that time, and you had Shea kind of not down and out. He actually stayed with it and played it pretty well, but he only got a toe on it. You know, it's just barely to prevent that pass from getting back across. He's coming over to try to get to the shot if Merkulov's going to shoot it, and he just kind of dragged that left skate, and that's what prevented the pass from getting back across. And then Lindholm probably has an open net. He's probably got some space. But yes, I would like to see Merkulov shoot it, but I also like, you know, the fact that he's going to play his game. So, I mean, there's a couple different ways to look at it.
Well, either way, Bruins have a 2-0 lead. Now we'll see if they can close it out in the third period. Again, the goal scoring, David Pastrnak at 1:32 of the first from Pavel Zacha and Morgan Geekie, and then Mason Lohrei, his 4th of the season on the power play from Zacha and Pastrnak at 6:33 of the first. Time now for our Music of the Game, brought to you by LiveNickNation.com. We'll check the out-of-town scoreboard when we return. Bruins up 2-0 over Pittsburgh on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
With Cox Mobile, you're covered coast to coast, so you can call your friends anytime on that road trip from New York City to L.A., even in, Franklin, Illinois.
Huh, what if I call from Franklin, Georgia?
Yep, covered.
Ooh, Franklin, Texas?
Uh-huh.
Franklin, Kansas, Missouri, Virginia, Nebraska,
all
Connecticut?
covered. Cox Mobile runs on the network with more nationwide coverage than T-Mobile and has call quality you can rely on. Cox Mobile, the smart way to mobile. Cox Internet required. Comparison based on percentage of area covered by T-Mobile as compared to Cox Mobile from FCC National Broadband Map of U.S. as of 12/31/23. Learn more at cox.com/mobile.
Hi, this is Debbie, your Blinds.com design consultant.
Oh, wow. A real person.
Yep. I'm here to help you with everything from selecting the perfect window treatments to...
Well, I've got a complicated project.
No problem. We make the complex simple. And I can even help schedule a professional measure and install.
I didn't realize you did that.
Yeah. We can also send you samples, fast and free.
Wow. I mean, I always thought I needed a designer to come to my home, but scheduling's always a nightmare.
Not with Blinds.com. We're on your schedule, and there's no haggling, no pressure, no hidden fees either.
I just might have to do more.
Oh, okay. Whatever you need. How about you tell me what you had in mind?
Okay, then. So the first room we're looking at is for guests coming over.
Blinds.com has covered over 25 million windows, all backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Shop Blinds.com now and save up to 45% on select styles. Rules and restrictions may apply.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Connect with Boston's home for sports online. 98.5thesportshub.com.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification across the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins radio network.
From the Town Fair Tire Studios, this is Boston's home for sports. WBZ-FM at HD Boston, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Station.
Second intermission here in Pittsburgh with the Bruins leading the Penguins by the score of 2-0. We take a look at our out-of-town scoreboard. Finals from earlier today was the Islanders 7-4 winners over the Nashville Predators. Brock Nelson with a pair of goals in that game and an assist. Ilya Sorokin credited with an empty net goal to seal it. It wasn't a conventional empty net goal. It was a save made by Sorokin. He was the last Islander to touch the puck. The Nashville Predators had a miscue, and the puck goes back down into the empty net. So Sorokin with a goal in that one. Tampa Bay Lightning 3-1 winners over the Washington Capitals, making it 8 in a row for the Tampa Bay Lightning. At the end of two periods, the Florida Panthers have a 2-0 lead over the Calgary Flames. Games later on today at 6 o'clock. The 2025 Navy Federal Credit Union NHL Stadium Series has the Detroit Red Wings taking on the Columbus Blue Jackets. That's at Ohio Stadium. Later on tonight at 7 o'clock, Buffalo plays host to the Canadiens. San Jose will be in Ottawa to take on the Senators. Edmonton has lost 5 in a row. They're in Carolina to take on the Hurricanes. Philadelphia visits Winnipeg. St. Louis is host to the LA Kings. New Jersey is in Utah. Chicago is in Anaheim. And to finish it off later tonight, Seattle playing host to the Vancouver Canucks. Here in Pittsburgh, Bruins 2, Penguins nothing after 2 periods. Third period action coming up next on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins radio network, driven by the versatile Honda CRV at your local Honda dealer.
You manage your business, we'll manage your finances. With Navigant Credit Union's cash management services, you'll boost efficiency and enhance performance. From collections to disbursements, it's the expertise you didn't know you needed. Try Navigant Credit Union today. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hi, this is Debbie, your Blinds.com design consultant.
Oh, wow. A real person.
Yep. I'm here to help you with everything from selecting the perfect window treatments to...
Well, I've got a complicated project.
No problem. We make the complex simple. And I can even help schedule a professional measure and install.
I didn't realize you did that.
Yeah. We can also send you samples, fast and free.
Wow. I mean, I always thought I needed a designer to come to my home, but scheduling's always a nightmare.
Not with Blinds.com. We're on your schedule, and there's no haggling, no pressure, no hidden fees either.
I just might have to do more.
Oh, okay. Whatever you need. How about you tell me what you had in mind?
Okay, then. So the first room we're looking at is for guests coming over.
Blinds.com has covered over 25 million windows, all backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Shop Blinds.com now and save up to 45% on select styles. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Inspiration can take you anywhere. It can take you to the C-suite of a global bank or the commissioner's office of a major sports league. It can take you to the top of Silicon Valley or around the world as a foreign minister. Inspiration can take you there and further. But it has to start somewhere. And for countless business leaders making an impact today, it started at the Eisenberg School of Management. Learn more at eisenberg.umass.edu.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you've been waiting to hear Macy's winter clearance, now's the time. Get everything you've been eyeing all season long at prices that are worth the wait. How good? Think 40 to 70% off coats, sweaters, boots, and more. Plus, come in and get an extra 20% off all your clearance purchases. That's up to 75% off. So if you've been waiting to treat yourself to something cute and cozy, hurry into Macy's now, because you're not the only one ready to score amazing winter deals. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Celtics play here at the Sports Hub. This is a black and gold flashback.
Char to keep it in. Swings it in deep behind the net. Shannon looking to center it. Char looks to block it. It was deflected in front, and Butler had it chipped wide. Now a drive from Carlson, blocked wide of the net, and that's it. It's a perfect road trip for the Bruins. They sweep all 6 games, and they finish it off in Ottawa with a 1-0 win.
Today's black and gold flashback taking us back to this date, March the 1st in 2011. Tuukka Rask made 33 saves. Bruins beat the Ottawa Senators 1-0 and finished off a perfect 6-0 road trip. The first time they had gone 6-0 on a road trip since back in February of 1972. Bruins hoping to get this modest 2-game road trip underway with a victory here this afternoon. They have a 2-0 lead over the Penguins as we get ready to start the third period. Again, the Bruins have been without Captain Brad Marchand for most of this one. He was knocked out of the game on a check from behind by P.O. Joseph just about 6 minutes in on Marchand's third shift of the game. We have not seen him since. The word was that he was unlikely to return. P.O. Joseph, meanwhile, was in turn knocked out of the game on a check a little bit later by Mark Kastelik, who had lined up Joseph once before but had stopped short of making the hit because the whistle came in advance. But as we go to the third period, now the Bruins have to close it out and get the 2 points. Look back over their recent history. Blown lead against the Rangers, blown lead against Vegas, blown lead against Toronto, all within the last 5 games.
Yeah, and don't forget, Pittsburgh last game, they were down 3-0 to the Flyers.
Right.
I know they didn't have it wasn't a lead in the third period like that, but they were down 3-0 to the Flyers before they came back and won that game 5-4 in overtime.
The Bruins will go from right to left here in the third period, as Charlie Coyle gets ready to stand in for the face-off here against Sidney Crosby. The scoreboard at center ice urging the crowd here at PPG Paints Arena to make some noise. They're looking for something to make some noise over.
The noise they were making after 2 periods was boos.
Right. Been some frustration from the fans here, which has been understandable. Puck comes along the end boards in the Bruins zone. Zadorov got held against the wall.
Same with Boston fans.
Yep. Centering pass comes all the way through to Letang, right circle, a shot. Save made by Korpisalo. Coyle pushes the puck to the near wall and then sends it behind the net. Zadorov gave over there, and a rink-wide pass by Carlo ahead to Coyle. Boston coming into the Pittsburgh zone. It'll come back toward the Boston end, and Mason Lohrei will skate back to retrieve. Lohrai's pass finds Zacha in the near circle. Long pass out through neutral ice. Geekie couldn't slow it down. Matt Grzelcyk back for the Penguins as he sends one up the far side. Peak able to knock Bemstrom into the boards in front of the Bruins bench. Here's a giveaway near the side of the Bruins net, but covered up by Korpisalo with Hayes right there.
Hayes has been good in the faceoff circle today. He's 8-1 in the draws. Pittsburgh's had a decided advantage. I was laughing because we said how long that first period took, right? And there were 28 faceoffs in the first period.
Wow.
13 in the second.
Gee, I wonder why it felt like the second was moving along at warp speed. I think we went, good 3 or 4 minutes at one point without a whistle there as the puck comes back into the zone courtesy of Hayes. Former BC Eagle, Dorchester native. Brought through neutral ice. Can't get it cleanly into the attack zone. Hayes turns with it along the near side, gives to Carlson. Carlson will lob one across the ice into the far corner of the Bruins zone. Lohrei trying to hold off Tomasino. Puck will come around the near side. Picked up by Zacha. He skates it and then pushes it up ice, trying to find Merkulov, but overshot him, and that's going to be an icing against Boston.
Bruins fans, Bruins hockey is brought to you by Timberline Construction, providing truly exceptional service in construction management, pre-construction, design build, and due diligence support. Learn more at timberlineconstruction.com. Timberline Construction, exceptional, no exceptions.
Speaking of BC alums, we were watching between periods the Detroit Red Wings playing in Columbus tonight for the outdoor game at Ohio State. As the shot gets blocked in front, Red Wings players all wearing jerseys that belong to Johnny and Matthew Gaudreau as they made their way to the stadium today.
Yeah, all different jerseys, right? A couple different teams that they played for.
Yeah. Team USA jerseys, BC
College,
jerseys.
yeah.
It comes out through the neutral ice, and Bruins will get whistled for another icing here with 1:59 gone in this third period. There's Johnny Gaudreau been on everybody's mind in Columbus and throughout the league throughout the course of the season, but when these big events come, we saw Team USA using his jersey as a tribute to the MVP for each of their games of the Four Nations tournament.
They're expecting 90,000 at Ohio Stadium day.
Should be a fun one. Friend Billy Jaffe's going to be rinkside for that one. Angled into the Bruins zone. Zadorov will lift it up into the air and over the head of Grzelcyk. Comes back toward the Pittsburgh zone. Letang and Grzelcyk back inside their own territory. Letang gets the pass and deals it up the right side. Crosby at the attacking blue line. Rims it around the far boards. Rust played it back down toward the end wall. It'll come around the near side. Letang pinching down toward the circle. Knocked off of his stick. Letang knocked Beecher into Rust, and Rust is slow in getting up.
That was friendly fire, yeah.
Puck comes in behind the Pittsburgh net. Rust just now making it back to the bench. Looked like he had his left arm cradled against his body. Puck in the Boston zone. 3 minutes gone in the third period. Pass up the far side by Carlo. Gets cut off near the red line. Bruins making a change as the Penguins will come back.
You know, we looked at the shots on goal and opportunities in that second period. Rakell has had 3 shots on goal, but he's had 3 missed shots, and the one big one was when he had that opportunity. And he had, Corbusella had to come a long way to try to make that save. He had some open net there. Fired it wide to the short side high.
Rakell, 25 goals, the leading scorer on this Penguins team this year. Here's a pickoff by Koepke. He's got Pasternak long. Pasternak going in, goes for the forehand and goes crashing into the end boards as he gets taken down, and a penalty shot coming up. Pasternak behind the 2 defensemen. Went hard into the wall. Thankfully looks to be all right.
Boston number 88 has been awarded a penalty shot for being fouled to the eye.
Yeah, I mean, poor defensively here by the Penguins. As soon as this puck gets blocked away, Pasternak just takes off. We talked about this last period. And Carlson's the guy that I believe reaches in. I don't know if Pasternak lost his balance or the stick was on him, but affected him enough to go down. So
David Pasternak already has a goal and an assist today, and will get a penalty shot here with 16:22 to go in the third period. He'll be moving from right to left as he starts from inside his own blue line, picks up the puck at the red line, wheels wide to the far side in no particular hurry, coming toward the slot with the puck on his forehand, goes to the backhand, Nedeljkovic makes the pad save.
Yeah, I saw Erik Karlsson's reaction after the penalty shot. He's like, well, you know, where's the...
What I do?
Yeah, but we've talked to David Pasternak in the past about this. He prefers breakaways as opposed to shootouts.
Because it's at full speed.
Well, yeah, it's
right?
at full speed, and you kind of know what you don't know what you're going to do, really, right? I mean, this is really slow coming in. He was going to go back to the forehand like he did in the first period on the goal, but he's coming much slower in this situation. He tries to go back to the backhand and lift it up, and he just got run into the boards or flew into the boards on some fairly clean ice, and it's almost had too much time to think about it.
Puck comes around the near boards. Merkulov will steer it in behind the net. Coyle out of the right wing corner, bringing it out toward the blue line. Now sends it back down low, but picked off by Hayes. Can't get it out of the zone. Second effort held in by Peak. Wheels it off into the left wing corner. Merkulov to the back of the net for Lindholm, trying to fight his way out in front. Instead, Penguins have it, and it'll be Hayes coming ahead from the red line. Dumps it in on goal. In the far corner, Lohrei poked it free. Lindholm steers out to Merkulov, and he'll dump it in from center ice. 4:20 gone in the third period. Bruins up by 2 here on the road. Malkin lays it in wide of Korpisalo, steered it away from the side of his net. Patra with a long pass up the far side, and here's a break for Koepke. Fires off the post.
He had a breakaway in the second period. Partial breakaway right there. Pittsburgh they fall asleep defensively.
Koepke rattles it around the far side boards and played it back toward the corner. Malkin can't get it out. Thrown back to the net, this time by Patra, and a save made, and we get a scrum breaks out.
Well, Desharnais went after Koepke in front. All Koepke did was stand there. He was looking for a tip. Puck gets gloved by Nedeljkovic, and I don't know what Desharnais thought Koepke was doing, but he comes over and gives him a shot. So that's going to bring a couple of Bruins in, and what are they going to call here? They're going to call both. They'll call Kastelic for coming in and throwing him down, but they'll call Desharnais for the initial.
I say Mark Kastelic apparently not a favorite of the officials today.
2-minute minor, roughing.
Just him.
Just him.
Wow. They called him for unsportsmanlike conduct back in the first period when he was barely involved in anything. So 15-11 to go. Kastelic just goes in there and grabs Desharnais.
He's coming to protect.
Who's getting in Koepke's face. So with 15-11 to go, Pittsburgh back to the power play. It is their 5th opportunity of the game.
This is right after Koepke ripped one off the bar.
Right. Quick clear here. Puck comes back into Pittsburgh territory. Grzelcyk circles around behind his net. Brings it out toward its own blue line. Now Crosby with the pass to Rust. Rust will fire it around the boards of the Bruins zone. Hazel on the far boards against Lindholm. Puck came behind the net. Zadorov couldn't get it. Rust along the right wing side. Pivots back toward the hash marks. Gives to Grzelcyk out of the point. Now Rust again. Stepping in toward the dot. Down low. Crosby drags it out in front. Knocked away from him, but kept alive. Hayes. Center blue line. Grzelcyk. Hayes. Top of the right circle. Pass off the leg of Zadorov. Rust from behind the net to the far circle for Raquel. Gave it up and got it right back from Grzelcyk. Now challenged by Zacha and Carlo. Raquel out near the blue line, able to keep that puck in. Sends it down low for Rust. Rust sends one through the slot, picked off by Zadorov and cleared.
See Rust back out there after he got injured a couple of shifts ago. Pittsburgh has given up 4 breakaways today. We'll call it 3.5. That last one by Koepke, he was getting kind of angled off. He still ripped it off the bar.
Right.
He was in close enough.
Pasternak's first goal of the game on a breakaway.
Another one that led to a penalty shot.
There's Peak along the end wall. 38 seconds to go on the penalty to Kastelic. On the far side boards, Dan Heinen got it back to the point. On to Letang, skating down the right circle, threw one in front, tipped away and off into the far side. Kept alive by Carlson, but now given away and shot out of the zone by Peak. Moving right back in here by Letang, just inside the Boston blue line. Wotherspoon. Instead, now Carlson takes away. Carlson sent one right between the wickets on Heinen. Clearing effort, stopped by Tomasino. It'll come across ice. Letang into the corner for Malkin. Brings it out toward the hash marks. And a crossing pass disrupted by Koepke. Kept alive. Carlson. Power play is over. Teams are at full strength with 13 minutes to go. Bruins leading by 2. And Letang's pass flummoxed Heinen, lost it out of the zone. Crowd is done with this, I would say. 12:50 left. Achari on the near side boards. Mason Lohrei pushes it back out of the zone, driven right back in by Desharnais. Out of the far corner, Ian Mitchell got it behind the net for Lohrei. To the near side, Patra takes a bump from Desharnais. Geeky trying to dig that puck free. In the corner, it comes to Lohrei again. Mitchell will try it up the far side this time, and with a little help from Pasternak, it gets through Achari. Dumped right back in here by the Penguins. All the way around the near boards. Taken off the wall by Lazat. Spins it back toward the corner. Beauvillier to Carlson. Up top, Lazat from the blue line. Shot it wide to the short side. Pasternak going to hammer one up ice. He had Geeky going for the breakaway
again,
that time.
Behind
that one
the D.
knocked away. Well, they're going to keep giving them to you. Keep going for it. Penguins reload here. Shot by Raquel. Stick to side by Korpisalo. Ricochets out through the slot. taken by Russ toward the right circle. Zadorov blocked his shot attempt. They do battle along the near boards. Now Crosby backhands one through the slot. And a shot goes high and wide off the stick of Grizzly. Rust will spin it back in deep. Elias Lindholm to the far side wall. Yell coming over to try to help him out. Get it out of the zone. Can't. Brought back toward the near side. Carlson stepping toward the top of the face-off circle and bounced off of Merkulov and into the far corner. Shot toward the outside of the net. Korpisalo holding his ground. Got 11:05 left here in regulation, and Bruins up by 2. Puck up into the air. Gloved ahead by Merkulov, and he'll chase it into the Pittsburgh zone, but Carlson right there.
Need to get those skating legs back right now.
Now Carlson, a giveaway. Pasternak comes in front of the net, goes around behind. Puck on his backhand. Now forehands it in front, looking for Zacha. It hit a skate. Wotherspoon got it back in deep.
You're saying that last shift there was all in Boston zone. Power play, and then it kept going on that shift after the Bruins got the full strength.
Peak had it taken away by Malkin in behind the net, but no harm, no foul there. Bruins will come away with the puck. Backhanded up in through the neutral zone by Coyle. Pittsburgh going to come right back. And across the line, it's Beauvillier. Pivots, hands off for Desharnais, and a long shot. Pad stop by Korpisalo. Bruins clear the rebound, and from the red line, Wotherspoon will dump it in. Coming up on the midway points, Pasternak.
Nedeljkovic just gave it away to Pasternak. He's at the end of a shift, though.
Nedeljkovic going to set that one up for Letang off another dump in. Penguins moving from left to right as Hayes dumps one in wide of the net. Steered away by Korpisalo. Bruins clear it back out. This will be Glass to carry in across the Boston line this time. Stuck against the wall with the puck at his skates. Mason Lohrei holding him at bay. From the near corner, Bemstrom sends around to the far side. Grzelcyk will send it back around. Near side, Glass hands it back to Shea at the point. Shot blocked by Koepke. Thrown back toward that far corner. Mitchell will get there first for the Bruins. Lohrei fires it up the left wing side, and that's going to go for an icing.
Fans, hockey season is the perfect time to replace your old boiler with a new Peerless boiler. Don't wait until you have no heat. Go to peerlessboilers.com for a dealer near you. And remember, Peerless Boilers, the world's best built boilers.
Bruins will be back on home ice on Tuesday when they celebrate First Responders Night as they take on the Nashville Predators. 7 o'clock face-off. Visit bostonbruins.com/tickets and lock in your seats for all the action. Face off in the Boston zone. Poitras won it. Steered up the near side. Koepke took a swat at it, didn't get it. And that's not going to make it far enough for icing. Carlson was trying.
Yeah, he was trying. He was trying to wait for it to get
trying
to
to skate as slow as he possibly could.
Long strides.
Yep.
Ryan, long strides.
Puck around the near boards. We'll get through Letang, and that one's going to be a no-doubter. So they'll whistle it down with 8:38 to go.
Okay, so
how's your tally doing over
well,
there?
Boston's iced the puck 4 times in this period.
Yeah.
Almost 5. So it tells you a little bit about what the period's looking like. You know, it's spending some time inside your own zone. Pittsburgh trying to push. They didn't really do much on the power play.
Shots on goal are 6-2 in favor of Pittsburgh in the period. We're about 11.5 minutes in. As the Bruins volley one through the neutral ice, Lindholm was sneaking down ice, but that one bounced past him, and it's another ice.
Gives them a little respite. It gives them a little rest, you know. You throw the puck down ice. As long as you're winning draws, that's the big one, right? Getting possession. Now it's about getting your feet moving for this last 8.5 minutes. And
the way it's gone, too.
I mean,
today.
you're going to get chances. We've already seen it this period.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh's defense is just like, they fall asleep.
Here from the right circle is Raquel. Shot blocked off of Carlo's leg. That one gets through. And the stop made off the blocker of Korpisalo. Long shot by Carlson got knocked down, and that one comes out of the zone. 8:05 to go in regulation. Bruins up 2. Carried back into the Boston zone by Wazat. He'll steer it around the boards, but waiting for it near side Zadorov. Pivots away from Achari. Angles it in behind the net. Carlo will lift one back through the neutral ice. That's going to be an icing.
There's a pass to be made there.
Yeah.
Make the tape-to-tape pass. It's right up the middle. The lane is right there. You've got fresh forwards on the ice. Put it in their hands. Get it on their tape. I don't think you need to flip that out of the zone.
So Zadorov and Coyle, or Carlo rather, along with Coyle, have all been out there for more than a minute on this shift.
They had a chance to change, though.
Whistle before they drop the puck. Get everyone reset. Coyle battling for that puck, and no one can seem to find it. Now it goes along the far boards. Brought down along the end boards by Wazat. Wazat skates it toward the near circle. Sends one across the ice, back to the far point man, Shea, and his shot off the end wall.
That's a penalty. Carlo got cross-checked back into the post.
Dislodged the net.
I think that was Lazat.
Yeah. Lazat headed to the penalty box. Bruins will go to the power play. 7:31 to go. Boston up 2-0 here on the 98.5, the Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club, politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize, and turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
Hotels.com knows that planning your book club's annual field trip can get chaotic. Rhea, the romance reader, wants to stay in Prince Charming's castle. Self-improvement Steve needs a hotel gym. Leela and Jeff, the horror fans, ghosted the group chat about budget. And you've read enough true crime to know that murdering them isn't a real option. With the Hotels.com app, invite all your friends to collaborate and find the perfect hotel together. Share properties, vote on your favorites, and book all in one place. Find your perfect somewhere with Hotels.com.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Listen live. Check out our podcast with the 98.5 The Sports Hub app.
Bruins with a 2-0 lead, 7:31 to go, and they're going to the power play, which is brought to you by Bosch Power Tools, engineered for efficiency, comfort, and ease. Bosch Power Tools are built to keep workers going at full strength. Bosch Power Tools, what hard workers deserve. Blake Lazat into the penalty box for cross-checking Brandon Carlo.
Yeah, it's not a great penalty by Lazat. You've got some good pressure on the Bruins. You forced them to ice the puck a few times. The Bruins are out of their rhythm at skating and moving the puck. And I mean, it's all the way up in the offensive zone, and he knocks Carlo right into the post and call him for interference.
But brought behind the Penguins net and steered up the near side by Letang. Beauvillier moved it through the neutral ice, but knocked down in the center circle. Pasternak going to drive it right back into the Pittsburgh end.
Yeah. I think he hit Kiki with that dumping.
Thrown back out. Comes in on goal. Korpisalo.
Wondering if they might go 2D here, but maybe on the second unit.
Lorai going to bring it ahead. And around it goes. Lorai's got a power play goal already today. The Bruins' only other opportunity. So Tang from behind the Pittsburgh net has it. Skates it toward the near side and throws one the length of the ice. Minute 15 to go in the man advantage. 6:45 left here in the third. Puck carried ahead. Geeky will rim it around the near wall. Waiting for it at the blue line. Pasternak skates it down the near circle. Center blue line. Lorai with a shot. Kicked on to Pasternak. He brought it toward the back of the net. Back toward Geeky near side, but lost it and all the way down. 52 to go on the man advantage.
And 3 guys go off the ice. Pasternak and Lohrei staying for now.
Lohrei, make the pass to the left, goes right instead, finds Patra.
Going to go for Mitchell.
Mitchell and Wotherspoon both out there, so in fact there are two D-men.
Yeah.
Puck steered back out, and here's Hayes away on a shorthanded rush. Gave it off for Beauvillier, and he scores! A shorthanded goal for Anthony Beauvillier, and Pittsburgh's got life with 5:59 to go. It's 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, just can't happen. You got to keep everything in front of you. The puck gets moved down around the boards. Pastrnak unable to handle it there. Gets chipped away from him. And then Hayes trying to break away from Wotherspoon. Wotherspoon's trying to get back on him. Mitchell comes across to try to help, just in case he's going to get by him. Hayes pulls up in the right wing circle, and he finds a wide open Beauvillier coming down the slot. Beauvillier is going to beat Korpisalo with glove hand side.
So the 13th of the year for Beauvillier, and it's a one-goal game. 18 to go on the power play as the puck gets cleared out here by Pittsburgh and goes all the way down the ice. It's the 9th shorthanded goal allowed this season by the Bruins, the 4th scored by the Penguins. Merkulov will get it deep into Pittsburgh territory. Power play comes to an end as Lizotte steps out of the box. Puck comes right to him. Zadorov trying to sweep it away from him. Coyle comes over to finish it off. Zadorov will bring it back toward the Boston blue line. Angles a pass off the near boards. Beecher, second effort, gets it deep. Nedeljkovic will leave it at the back of the net. Grzelcyk will start the Penguins out with a pass up the left side. Raquel couldn't get cleanly past Carlo at the blue line. Carlo in the far corner. Pass off of Kastelik, came out toward the center of the blue line. Good job by Kepke to keep that one alive, and it'll be Beecher to dump it in. Nedeljkovic spins it up off the glass in the far corner, and it ricochets all the way down the ice. Zadorov giving chase with Crosby. It doesn't make it far enough for an icing, but the Bruins will get it cleared. Beecher from the red line plays off the far wall and in, and heads off on a change. We've got 4:36 to go. Bruins lead is now 2-1. Errant pass comes to Lohrei at the Boston blue line. Coyle gets it right back deep. Nedeljkovic at the back of the Penguins net. Sends it off the far wall. Beauvillier just outside his own blue line. Pass into the middle. Tomasino has to chase it toward the near side. And then as he tried to play it into the Boston zone, Lohrei kind of got caught with an errant stick there. But no call as Lohrei has the puck on his stick. Through the neutral zone by Lindholm. Nedeljkovic will set it up just in front of the goal line. Under 4 minutes to play as Malkin brings the Penguins back. Skates it across the Boston line. Coyle denies a centering pass. Zadorov knocked down along the near side wall. Kept in at the point. Here's Shea stepping into the left circle with a shot. Korpisalo knocks it down and covers it up. Carlo making sure Tomasino knows where he is.
Yeah, I think that was more Zadorov, but yeah.
3:43 left here in the third. It's a 2-1 Bruins lead on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club, politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize, and turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger. Because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, it's Dennis Quaid here. There's a pressing issue that still needs attention: the state of our retirement savings. We're dealing with $36 trillion in debt, and the interest on that debt is now greater than our entire defense budget for the first time in history. And with global tension still high, it's more important than ever to help secure your financial future. That's why I partnered with a great company, Goldco, who is offering you a free copy of their Gold and Silver Kit. The kit contains vital information to help you navigate the current economic landscape and offers strategies to help you protect your life savings. Get a free Gold and Silver Kit to get the facts and make a decision that's right for you and your family by calling 855-GOLD-IRA. You may even qualify for free bonus silver plus a free Ronald Reagan silver coin. Call 855-GOLD-IRA. That's 855-GOLD-IRA.
The home of the Revs, the Sports Hub.
Fans, WellPoint is proud to honor our hometown heroes all season long. This week, they're honoring Lieutenant Sandy Picard from the Lawrence Police Department and her therapy dog, Ollie. Brings smiles to those who need it most. To nominate someone making a difference in your community, visit 985thesportshub.com/heroes today.
3:43 left in regulation. Bruins led 2-0 to start the period. They are now up 2-1. And a face-off in the defensive zone. Penguins with a short-handed goal to cut the lead in half. Beauvillier from Kevin Hayes at 14:01. The puck comes around behind the Boston net toward the near side circle. Raquel got it to Rust behind the net, looking in front for Crosby. That was blocked and pushed out into neutral ice. Here's Koepke in across the Pittsburgh line. Drags it toward the slot and just had it slip away from him as he tried to get it into shooting position.
Or to Coyle.
Thrown back toward the net, and Nedeljkovic will steer that into the far corner. Koepke pivoting, trying to get away from Grzelcyk. Instead, it'll be brought up ice here by Carlson. Right side, Rust. Lifted into the Boston zone. Lohrei will pivot in behind the Bruins net, around the far wall. Pushed out toward the blue line, and thrown right back in deep by Letang. Come around the near side, Glass at the blue line to keep it in this time. Pasternak's got a free puck, though, and he'll lift it through the neutral zone. 2:45 left. Puck comes back into the Boston end. Lohrei knocked the stick out of the hands of Tomasino, and the Bruins get it right back out. Letang, quick pivot, out back at his own blue line. Chased by Beecher, now by Kastelik. Letang trying to find somewhere to go with that puck in the neutral zone. Goes left side for Tomasino, drives it in deep. Zadorov got it away from Raquel. Back to the far side. Malkin just coming on, kept it into the blue line. Extra skater about to come on here for Pittsburgh as Nedeljkovic made his way to the bench. They lose the puck out of the zone and now have to reset. Kevin Hayes, who just jumped on as the extra skater, gives to Malkin. Back to Hayes, right wing side. Around the boards it goes in the Boston zone. We're under 2 minutes to play. Along the end wall. 2 men aside, battle for possession. Puck locked up in their skates. Now it came free, and it's poked back toward the point by Crosby. Malkin throws one in front. Hayes backhander, and a big stop by Korpisalo. Got the right pad on it. Crosby to Rust. Out in front, and Raquel goes down.
Bruins are going to get a penalty here.
High sticking the indication. Raquel's cut.
He's going to get 4 minutes. I think it's going to Carlo. It's significant because if the Penguins score,
could carry
they're going to have a power play going in
overtime. Yeah.
He's cut up by his cheek.
It's going to be Koepke.
Number 45 has a 4-minute double minor for high sticking.
I thought it was Carlo.
Yeah. So with 1:34 left, a 4-minute double minor to Cole Koepke for high sticking. Now the Penguins will use their timeout here with 1:34 left.
Carlo's in the vicinity as well, but it was definitely Koepke, and he got his stick up, and you can see the cut on the cheek. No way to miss that one. So you get the power play set up now for the Penguins. They have not looked good on their power play, and it's been booed a couple of times on it. They've had plenty of chances, right, in those situations, but this power play should be way better than they are. You know, when you bring Carlson in, and then, you know, do you play him and Letang together? Do you play just one of them on that point? And They've been searching for it ever since. I mean, last year they were dismal. I mean, they were horrible last year. They went through a really tough stretch at one point of the season where they couldn't do anything right with the man advantage. This year's been marginally better.
So 94 seconds left to try to survive and get the win here. Up 2-1. It'll be a 6-on-4 manpower advantage. Raquel apparently still bleeding. Taken back to the bench by the referee to get a quick repair. But he will start this power play.
Carlo and Zadorov have been good on the PK so far. They're going to start this penalty kill.
Crosby wins the draw. Carlson pushed it down the left wing circle. They get it deep to Rust. Now Raquel gets it back again to Carlson. Walks it toward the center of the blue line. To the right circle for Hayes. Down low. Crosby back to Hayes. Center blue line. Carlson one-timer. Save made. Crosby 2 chances, 3 chances at the rebound. Korpisalo holds his line.
Now, he was right there. He loves that spot, right off the post. Left-hand shot. He's so good at redirecting pucks from that spot. He's got the perfect angle on his stick to be able to do it. And he's mastered it. And this time, Korpisalo with the left pad, holding strong there on the short side post.
Puck into the corner off the face-off. 1:10 to go. It'll come back to Carlson at the point. Sends it over to the far side. Raquel pushed it down toward the corner. Carlo trying to shoot it out of the zone. Couldn't get a stick to it. Crosby back to the center blue line. They work it down into the right wing corner for Rust. Threw one in front, and it ricochets off a body and out of play.
Raquel wants a one-timer from Carlson. Carlson ends up going the other direction with it.
54.6 left.
I mean, you got a man advantage with the game on the line. And Chris Letang, who's your all-time, 5th leading scorer in Penguins history, not on the ice because you have Carlson.
It's a 6-on-4 power play here with the goaltender pull. Carlson gives it for Crosby. Crosby gives it down low. Hayes in front. Knocked down by Rust. Couldn't get a shot off. Zadorov will push it up ice to Coyle. Throws to the empty net and scores! With 40 seconds to go, Charlie Coyle with the empty netter, and the Bruins are back in front by 2.
Well, you got the big saves from Korpisalo in that last sequence with Crosby on the doorstep. This time, Bruins do a nice job at defending the front of the net. I think it was Korpisalo that prevents that puck from getting across that goal-mouth pass. And the Bruins are going to get to a puck. Crosby goes down low with it. I think it was Hayes who tried to go across. And one of the Penguins got knocked down in the slot. Zadorov picks it up, takes a stride, and then slides that puck to Coyle, who breaks free.
So for Charlie Coyle, that empty netter, his 14th goal of the season. And with 40.3 to go, Bruins back up by 2. Penguins running short on time. Malkin gets knocked down by Zadorov. They'll come shoulder to shoulder again in pursuit of the puck. Crosby along the near boards. Poke checked away by Lindholm. Rust out of the right corner. Drags it out in front, trying to get it to his backhand. A shot, they score! It's Raquel coming in from the left circle with 21.4 to go, and Pittsburgh's not dead yet. It's 3-2.
Yeah, it's Pittsburgh wins a battle in the right wing corner this time, and they're going to bring the puck strong to the front of the net. It's just going to create a loose puck situation. They're Malkin in a battle in the corner with Zadorov, and then it's going to be Rust who brings it strong to the front of the net. And then on the back door, well, got a couple guys going at it in front. That Zacha that looks like he had that puck, right? And he just can't reach it, loses his balance. And Crosby kicks it to Raquel. And a nice finish by Raquel, putting it home.
So 21.4 left.
I thought the Bruins might take a time out there.
Puck comes into their zone. Carlo going to scale it down ice toward the empty net. It's blocked, and the Penguins will try one last rush here. Zadorov cuts that off, and he'll steer it down ice. Bruins shorthanded, so no icing. 4 seconds and 3. Penguins will get one more shot. No, they won't. Horn sounds, and the Bruins will celebrate a 3-2 victory here on the road as it comes down to the final seconds, and the empty net goal by Charlie Coyle ends up being the difference in this one. 3-2 Bruins victory as they start this two-game road trip with 2 points. We'll be back with a recap next on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Warning! Inflation is back on the rise. The national debt is spiraling out of control. The stock market has been at an all-time high, and wars continue to rage across the globe. Experts are predicting a massive economic crash for 2025, and you should be ready. Will you sit on the sidelines and wait, or will you take action today to help protect your hard-earned retirement savings? Right now, you can get a free gold and silver kit from the top-rated precious metals company, Goldco, where you'll learn why tens of thousands of hardworking Americans and even the world's central banks are turning to precious metals to help protect and diversify their money. Get your free gold and silver kit from Goldco by calling 855-GOLD-IRA. You could even receive up to a 10% instant match on bonus silver for qualified accounts. Don't let your financial future slip through your fingers. Learn why so many Americans are diversifying with gold and silver today. Call 855-GOLD-IRA. That's 855-GOLD-IRA.
Welcome to the Nissan Now sales event. Are you all right?
I wanted to get here before the best offers were gone.
You're just in time. Let me show you what we've got. There's the all-new Kicks, the sporty Sentra, or our best-selling Rogue, a Consumer Guide Best Buy 11 years in a row. You must be exhausted.
I think I'm ready for my next adventure.
For the #1 shopping experience among non-luxury car buyers according to J.D. Power, get to Nissan now. Now get a low $249 per month lease for 39 months on Rogue. For J.D. Power 2024 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Well-qualified lessees. 2025 Rogue S all-wheel drive. $46.19 initial payment excludes tax, title, and license. Disposition fee due at lease end. Take from new dealer stock. Call 1-888-858-8319 for offer details. Ends 3/3/25.
Ever notice that OW? OW is the beginning of owner? If you run a small business, you get it. From power outages to equipment failures to delivery mishaps. There's only so much you can control. Fortunately, that includes talking to an independent agent about safety insurance. Safety's competitive property and liability coverage provides protection from business interruptions,